Pardon me and my tone. You can't step to my throne. They ain't working like me. I did this on my own. You asking where we been, huh? I don't know where to begin, huh? All this dirt on my skin. I just came here to win. I'm more than a man, I'm a monster. Somebody call a pastor, doctor. I got a 6 sense for imposters. So now I'm coming for the whole roster. It's not a game, why you playing with me? You could double back, lose track, try and hang with me. It must be in my veins, something you can't tame, cause I break the chains. Can't control me. I got the power, I got the keys, cause I break the chains. They try to hurt me, I'ma push back, just wait till you're free. Please excuse me, your honor, but you can't hold me no longer. Can't you feel the vibrations? I broke out and left traces. Go ahead, try to catch me if you can, man. You'll be looking all night, I'm the Sandman. New York, London to Japan. I'ma show the whole world who I am. Boom, boom, boom. Major look.
Once again, thanks for tuning in. You're listening to World Combat Sports. What's good, everyone, on this Sunday? I want to give the room time to populate just a little bit. You know what I'm saying? This is somewhat like fight recap of the fight card that happened yesterday in Las Vegas, man. It was historic one for the boxing annals, like we wanted. The fight card was amazing. One of the best that you can say that Top Rank put on in a long time. Like everything from the preliminaries to the main card, on the card, to the main event. It was everything we hoped for. You know what I'm saying? Not so much results in the main event when it comes to me, but we're gonna get to that. You know what I'm saying? Salute to everyone that pulled up yesterday, the WCS supporters. I appreciate you. One love. Thanks for pulling up and supporting your boy each and every time I go live. If you're in the building today, hit that like button for me. It's much and truly appreciated. Shout out to Team Bomb Squad, man. I know he in recovery. The day after the fight is always the worst, especially if you came up short. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you came up short. It's always the worst day. Always. We're going to get into the whole facet. In the meanwhile, I've been getting crazy amount of freaking messages, man. Of course, you know, I'm a Wilder fan to the core. And I felt that, you know, the lead up to this fight with him and Malik Scott, what he was working on in practice had to be emulated or reciprocated into the ring when it came to the performance. It was no questions, no doubt. It had to happen. It was mandatory. You know what I'm saying? I know there was a whole lot of questions going into this fight. How would it play out? Could Fury pull out the victory again and defend his title for the first time? Could Wilder get his title back? And that was the biggest question of all right there. Those two big questions. You know, could Wilder regain his title? Could Fury defend his title? And those questions was answered. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. You know, Sometimes we ask for performance in boxing. It may not always render the results that we wanted, but it'll give us what we asked for. We asked for a battle. We asked for a war. We asked for, both parties to go in here and give us that electricity that we've been hoping and wishing for, with the best fighting the best. These was two heavyweights, the top two heavyweights in the sport, and they went in there and didn't disappoint, for real. Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder did not disappoint, man. It was definitely a climactic moment when it comes to this fight card. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. We'll wait for some more people to pull up. But congratulations to Tyson Fury. I still, I don't have anything really good to say about him as a person, but I have to say congratulations on a professional level, if there's ever one in this media game. Congrats to him going in there and fighting, fighting that fight, leaving it all in the ring, showing he was the better boxer. I give him the congratulations, period. I'm not going to cower down and try to come up with alternative scenarios as to why Deontay came up short. Deontay Wilder was stopped. He was stopped last night. It wasn't no towel. It wasn't anything. And whoever, you're always going to have naysayers in life, man. But I'm not on this live. I'm not on this live to give you a percentage of who I believe is feeling extra good. Look, that's temporary. You know what I'm saying? The inspiration that you feel him lose, that's just temporary. Boxing goes on, man. You know what I'm saying? Boxing is going to proceed forward no matter what happened last night. It's just so happened that the person that I was rooting on to win did not win. And the one that I thought shouldn't win, because I think he's that guy, he's a cheater, period, in the sport, he pulled it off. Now, a lot of us can be in here and say, well, before. Okay, we're talking about yesterday. That's as far as I'm going back now, because, hey, the bell rung and two giants, two heavyweight titans went in there and clashed. That was a motherfucking war. Two heavyweight giants went in there and clashed, man. They went in there and clashed and left it all. I'm talking about heart, their soul, every part of their being. They went in the ring and left that shit. Two warriors went in there and fought, man, in combat. Only one could walk up out of there. And we talk about going out on your shield. Yes. I even mentioned myself, Wilder mentioned going out on the shield. He went out on the shield. He went out on the shield, man. You cannot take any heart away from either fighter. Even Tyson Fury, man, you can't take no heart away. He might be a fat, sloppy, out of shape blob, but he went in there once again and demonstrated he know how to use his physical composition to contend in the ring. That's heavyweight. He's able to do that. Andrew Charles on deck, man. What it do? I tell you what, I'm glad that's over with. Yeah, incredible fight. Kangaroo Jack, what's good? Kangaroo Jack on deck. Joining link, bro. I'm not sure what joining link mean. I mean, seeing you over here before. But let me just try it out, because I know some people that's looking forward to come on here and do what they do. You know what I'm saying? I know some people got a lot to say. There go the link right there. Ain't no fear over here. Ain't no fear over here. I mean, we can't talk about anything else other than what we saw last night. So, the link is in the chat. But Andrew said that what up, my brother? What's going on? Charles Weatherly on deck. What's good, man? Up in the morning with the rising sun. Andrew Charles say, I tell you what, I'm glad that's over with. When it comes down to the trilogy with the two best heavyweight, yeah. We can say we glad it's over with when it comes to this particular two individuals, the top two names that's been mentioning, and this has been dragging out over a year and a half now on who's the best, the controversy, the scandal, the conspiracy, the cheating, all that. The only thing that really came to the surface yesterday was the glove situation. And I don't even think Deontay Wilder wore a pair of Tyson Fury's gloves. I think he wore his own gloves, man. For real. I don't even think he wore a pair of Tyson Fury's glove, if I'm not mistaken. Seriously. Salute WCS. We have to reflect on where we will put Deontay Wilder in the history books. Hardest punch in the sport of boxing, 11 title defenses, 41 KOs, Olympic bronze medalist. I agree with that. I mean, he is in boxing history. He is in boxing history. But, one important one important word that we must definitely underscore is where. You know what I'm saying? Because he defended his title for over 5 years. And you're right. He did have 41 knockouts, 42 victories, 2 defeats from the same champion, which is considered the top heavyweight in the division right now. So therefore, we definitely have to reflect on where we're going to put him in history. But also we have to reflect on what we seen last night. You know what I'm saying? We have to reflect on what we seen last night. And that was a classic heavyweight championship fight. The last man was left standing. Literally, the last man was left standing, and that was Tyson Fury. He was the one left standing, bro. He was the one left standing. Let me see your face, Steel Bomb Squad. Let me see what's up. Because I'm not gonna go on a babysitting spree with trolls. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna do it. Baltimore, how will Wilder get a fourth fight? He will have to defeat some of the top names. Like, you have to understand, right? Dillian White was just stopped by Alexander Povetkin and immediate got a rematch and won. So you know how that goes, man. You know how that shit goes. Yo, what up, man?
World Combat Sports, man. I'm glad you finally came to your senses, bro. I've been trying to tell you for over a year.
Who is this?
It's Camacho, bro.
Why you come in as Camacho and then you change to the Steel Bomb Squad?
I don't know. I didn't think you're gonna let me on. Maybe you're a little mad or salty, but I just want to talk. I'm not here to dick bomb.
Camacho, we ain't never talk about boxing. We talk about mixed martial arts when you was on your PC trying to test my knowledge, homeboy.
Yeah, look, and I respect your MMA knowledge, but when it came to boxing, I couldn't talk to you about boxing because you were so dead set on these like conspiracy theories of the gloves and shit and drug and Mark Breland. And I'm like, bro, you got to come to your senses. Like, I know we all have our favorite fighters, but we can't let that like cloud our judgment,
And you cannot consolidate everyone who spoke on that conspiracy as one entity. I never spoke with you about no glove conspiracy. I never spoke to you about this situation from the rematch.
We debated it on H Money. I remember we debated it on H Money.
Look, I haven't been on Skip Mark's show since Rob was alive. That's the last time I seen you was when you pulled up when Rob was doing his first live stream. Camacho, come on, bro.
What a throwback, man. Rest in peace to Rob, bro. But hey, man, here's the thing, man. Look, it's
No, hold
it's
up, hold
just
up,
not.
hold up. What
Go ahead.
senses? What senses have I came to? All I did was say Fury was the last man standing. What senses did I come to, man? I just told you what the results was. Wilder was
Well,
stopped.
I didn't like the whole thing with you with Breland. Like, I just don't like when fighters disrespect their trainers. I have no problem with people firing them, but when you disrespect them like that, when they care about your health, that's just not a good look. And at the end of the day, you're a bomb squad. And I respect Wilder as a warrior. I think he is a warrior. He will always be a better warrior than me, a better boxer and a fighter. He has heart, but he is a sore loser. Like, not giving the guy who beat your ass his respect, after having like one of the greatest trilogies and making so much money off each other, not giving the man respect, leaving the ring as a sore loser. That was
Well,
just a bad look.
Hold up, Camacho, because I know you're adamant about what you're speaking on right now. You've been waiting for a long time for this, right?
Nah, I mean,
Check this
I
out,
just woke
though.
up. I just
But
woke up and I just
but
jumped on.
look, think about what you're saying there, Camacho. You came back to WCS channel to remind me of what I thought about Wilder and what you disagree. You basically was trying to hold me accountable of the
Wrong.
words that I mentioned about Wilder, right? Check this out. So why not hold Fury accountable for all the scandal that was involved in his rematch as to why Deontay Wilder did not want to mend that bridge? He didn't want to show that man respect after that fight.
Well, here's the thing. I come to your channel periodically, like I do watch your show sometimes, I look at the YouTubes. Right now, I mean, I have nothing to do this Sunday, so I've been jumping on some panels and stuff, just having a good time, jump on your shit. And like, I feel like now that the fight's very conclusive, people are finally like, they finally have like, they knocked some sense into their heads. Like, I'm just like, Fury's just, look, dude, Fury's bigger, stronger, smarter, longer. I mean, it was just destined to happen, but people were in such denial. And the thing about Fury is that Fury is a very, very, very just frustrating character. I completely agree. He is like very annoying until like 1 week before the fight and during the fight.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, he can be frustrating in the ring too.
And he's probably going to pull out some shenanigans. I'm not going to be surprised if he ducks Dillian White. I'm not going to be surprised at all. Like, he is very frustrating. He ducked the Klitschko rematch. Just a lot of things about him that's just so frustrating. But at the end of the day, 1 week before the fight and during the fight, he is fucking phenomenal. He is a phenomenal boxer, bro. And look, man, we gotta like get race out of boxing. Boxing is about race only because the fans make it about race. But the fighters, the gladiators, the warriors know
boxing, bro.
Here's the thing, bro. The warriors, the true fighters know that you can lose to any man of any race at any moment, at any time.
What does everyone that have to do with the fighters? The race has to do with the people who are in position of authority that run the sport of boxing, that has influence in making decisions. Okay, along with
the promoters.
Look, the fighters are gonna fight, but a lot of people that have the influence, the shakers and the movers, they're the ones who are instilling or injecting racism in the sport, not so much the fighters.
I agree. Like, let's look at some of the more racially hated fighters, like Schmeling versus Joe Louis. Like Schmeling, like when Schmeling won, Adolf Hitler said this is a win for the white race, Bavarian race, and Schmeling was like, "Bro, I'm just a boxer. Like, I just punch people. This isn't a win for anybody. This is just a fight." The fans and the people around the fights make it about race, but the actual fighters, they've gone through so much that they know that they can lose to any guy at any moment. Don King was so adamant about Jerry Coney calling what's his name? Fuck, I'm drawing a blank.
I mean, we all know that was pretty much bloviated. They wanted Jerry Coney to make it about race, but
exactly,
he wasn't about that. Jerry Coney wasn't about that.
But for this fight,
I would like to stick to the topic of Deontay Wilder as if he did not go in there and fight with everything he had to offer. He went in there and fought with everything he had to offer. Whether you can look, we all know that he made mistakes last night, like he made in the rematch. I didn't think the rematch, we had 100% Deontay Wilder, but in this fight, there's nothing I can say except Tyson Fury was the better man. Some of the defense that Deontay Wilder displayed, I thought he was past that, but yet he still made some mistakes with his defense. Just he'll deliver the right hand, or he'll be extremely predictable with the right hand, and then Tyson Fury didn't let him breathe. Once he threw it, Tyson Fury was back on him. He didn't allow him to breathe with the counter. And Deontay was right there to be hit. And Tyson Fury fought a very strategical, smart, intelligent fight last night, which they always say, don't go up here and hunt for the knockdown, the knockout. It'll come to you. The knockout came to Fury. You know what I'm saying? It came to him.
I don't know. It was a great fight. I mean, it was a bad blood fight. It was a mauling. It was a war. It was nasty. It was actually nasty. Like, it was kind of grimy the way they were fighting. The punches were just, it was just like looking at Deontay, seeing his face shrivel from left to right. Like, that was just disturbing.
It's boxing.
But, like,
you never really liked Deontay. I don't like Tyson Fury, but yet
I liked Deontay. I never hated him. I just didn't fanboy over him.
Won the fight, bro. But you never liked Deontay Wilder.
Wrong. I like Deontay, bro. Why would I not like Deontay? He's a guy who punches.
Because of all the places we've been, man. You know, you and a plethora of other people, and you have the right to your opinion, bro. You know what I'm saying? You have the right. What do you like?
Well, let me tell you what happened. World Combat Sports. If you give me a minute to talk, I liked Deontay for a very long time. In fact, I was one of the guys who said that the first fight was a draw because I score fights more on activity. You know, and I didn't like the fact that the bigger man Fury was going on the back foot and fighting kind of scared. Like, I didn't like that. I liked Deontay. He was the underdog. He was a smaller guy backing up the bigger guy, and I liked the activity. I had to fight a draw with the knockdowns. So that's how I had it. I like Deontay. I mean, what is there not to like about him? He's like, he wears cool costumes. He knocks people out. He has kind of like this like preacher vibe to him. It's cool. He's an interesting figure. But when he lost and the people made all these fucking like conspiracy theories, I said, you guys aren't helping this man.
We're talking about the first one or the second one?
The second one. The second fight. The second
one was embroiled in controversy, though.
That's only because the fucking fans who are like, they're so dumb. They don't understand horsehair gloves, puncher's gloves. They don't understand.
I mean, it was evidence, man. The gloves look crazy. You know what I'm saying? And then Deontay looked crazy. You know, it looked like he was contaminated under the influence of an unknown substance.
What if he's scared? Hey, World Combat Sports. What if he was scared, bro? What if he was scared of Fury? What if he had a mini panic attack? You know, he's only human. He's only human.
How was he scared? And he wasn't scared the first time. Why would he be scared to step in there for a rematch, man? That makes no sense. Because first of all, we're men. Sometimes just our minds can go to places and we can just think of shit and we can blow them out of proportions. Sometimes the moment can be pretty tough. This was the first fight where it was like a double A side. Like, Wilder was clearly the A side in every single one of his fights against Duhapa. So you're saying the A side is what made Wilder scared, coming off a draw?
No, Fury made him scared. Fury made him scared.
Look, the promo leading up to the first fight, that tour that they had, invested more energy than what was displayed with them leading up to the second fight in the rematch in February. It was less. They had less to deal with. And you know, they went into the fight after, you know, Fury didn't want the immediate rematch. We already know the history behind it. And they went in there and everything about that fight seemed immersed in scandal, bro. Like, it was a lot of cheating going on. It was, you know,
brother, man.
Look, check this out.
Shit
that went down with Wilder's team that only he knows about internally, you know, especially with Mark Breland. But let's not forget, I said yesterday that Fury won fair and square, and he was the last man standing. That doesn't mean I like the guy. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't mean I like him. I still think he'll cheat. It's been proven that he's a boxing cheat, but he won fair and square last night.
All right, I'm asking you a question. Why do you like Wilder?
Why do I like Wilder?
Yeah.
Why do I support him, or why do I like him?
Look, I understand. I mean, you might have your reasons to like him, like he's an American, he's black, he's cool, right? But he has some awful character flaws. That it's just like he's such a sore loser, man. You got to give him that. He is a sore loser.
So you asked me, why do I like Wilder, right? But you didn't put an attachment to that on if we're talking about boxing, or why do I like him as a person? You're trying to wordplay.
Oh, I'm not trying to play anything. I'm being straight up.
You're trying to wordplay as always, as if
wrong.
not receiving what you're talking about? Like as a boxer or like as a person?
I guess a boxer, yeah, in the ring.
I mean, I liked how he fought, man. He was a tough guy, man. He was blessed with power. And for him to not be technically sound the way he was a killer. In the heavyweight division, you have fighters who are very eccentric in their fighting style. And Deontay Wilder was exactly that. He was fast-tracked through the early amateur career, right? He decided to take up boxing late. He went through the Olympics, and he was the only one really to win a medal at that time, a bronze medalist. And then he advanced up through his professional career to defeat Bermane Stiverne, the first person to go the distance with him. But check this out. He performed well, man. He defended his title. You know, he went in there for the 11th title defense, and it didn't work out for him in the rematch. But I like his heart. I like how tough he is. I like how he has confidence in himself, and I like him as a individual in general. You know why? Because I was around him several times, and I've never seen him treat anybody like shit. See, if you on the outside looking in, you might just look at him as a boxer, but I've seen him in public giving interviews and talking to media and being approachable. I don't have anything negative to say about his character. You're talking about what you see from your living room. I'm talking about what I've seen in person.
I'm talking about the actions that he does, bro. Like,
You
first of all, this wait, give me a second. Give me a second.
Bro.
Give me a second. Give me a second. He showed his character. He had an awful beatdown. Like, we still don't know the implications. The whole reason why this trilogy even happened is because of Mark Breland. If Wilder would have went to sleep in the second one, if Wilder would have went to sleep the second fight, like, this trilogy wouldn't have happened. Like, he would have been fucked up.
Why Breland you think a person get knocked out? It has nothing to do with the contractual agreement that two fighters signed on. You think a knockout?
It's not about legality. It's about long-term effects on the brain.
It's all about legality, homeboy. Else the arbitration would never happen. We would have seen Joshua. Look, we would have seen Joshua and Fury if legality never would have happened and never meant anything. We wouldn't have seen the damn trilogy. But Deontay went to the courts and he won the arbitration. So you pretty much contradicting, or you're way off track with legality.
You're not listening to what I'm saying. You're not listening to what I'm saying.
I am.
So,
and I'm regurgitating it back to you. You say legality means
no. You're strawmanning my words, bro. But look, I just want to be real with you. The reason why we had a third fight is because Mark Breland threw the towel to save him, because a knockdown like that takes years out of your life.
What did the towel have to do with the pandemic, Camacho? Nothing. The towel happened in February, and then the pandemic took over like in March. So what are you saying about
this is the problem?
Only reason we having a trilogy is because the towel came in.
This is the problem, man. Like, you guys who are like, excuse Wilder for everything he does. This is the reason why he's not improving.
When have I the reason why he hasn't improved anything dealing with this fight yesterday? When have I excused him, man? I think you, once again, I'll give you an example. Check this out, Camacho. I think you are dead focused on the criticism.
Just call me a racist, bro. Just call me a racist.
No, you have your own way of thinking. I'm listening to what you're saying, and I am basically responding to it. You asked me about why do I like Wilder, but yet you mentioned his character. You didn't say anything about boxing. So you want me to criticize the black man who I support, right?
Nah, wrong.
And you want me to say some negative stuff about him so you can feel good about yourself. No. But I haven't seen Wilder in person treat anybody like shit. I haven't. I've seen him several times in person. Fight camps, I've seen him supporting his team members, and he ain't never treated nobody like shit. What does that have to do with him fighting in the ring?
All right, let me tell you why. I get that he's a down-to-earth guy. He welcomed you in his camp. He was good. You have a connection with his camp. I get it. And that's cool. That's cool. Like, he's probably a cool dude. Like, he's probably a cool dude to talk to and you can have a beer with. Like, he's probably an awesome guy, and he's a family man. You know, and instead of going in the life of crime or something, or he went into sports and he found a way to, like, to feed his daughter. I mean, that's good. That's cool.
Come on,
but what I'm saying is that
come on, stop with the subliminals, bro.
Oh my! You're
talking about he
reading
could have
into my.
won the
Okay.
life of crime. What does a life crime have to do with the sport of boxing, bro? We have
Well,
so
this is
many
my.
criminals. Look, we have so many criminals that contend in the sport of boxing, but it's your topic. You know, you act like I'm
I
not looking
agree.
at what
I
you're
agree.
saying.
I'm
It's
just like,
irrelevant to the
I'll make it
conversation.
personal. I'll make it personal towards me. Like I
Look,
know.
it's irrelevant to the conversation on what went down last night.
All right. Well, let me just say this: when Fury lost against Otavali and it looked like trash, I criticized. I said this guy looks like fucking dog shit. Like he's gassed out. His punches have no power. I'm like, he's gonna get knocked the fuck out. He looks like a fucking loser. And when he switched to Sugar Hill, I was like, all right. Like his fan base criticized him. When Wilder couldn't fight off the back foot against Fury and had no balance and was falling on his ass, the fan base should have said, you know what, this guy needs to learn how to fight on the back foot. He needs another trainer. He needs to fight someone like Jonathan Banks or somebody he can listen to, learn how to fight like a long man, get a better game plan. But instead, it just came. It was just a multitude of excuses. Oh, like the cheating, and somehow in Wilder's head, he convinced himself the reason why he lost wasn't his lack of skills and fundamentals. It was because the other guy is a fucking cheater. Like. And so now he lost. Now he lost because you guys made excuses for him.
We talking
about the third fight.
I didn't make any excuses for Wilder. I just went off what I seen as far as my observation, just like you're making observations on what you believe Wilder is as a person and his character. You want to portray as if you're speaking about boxing, but yet you're speaking about his.
You're not choosing to listen to me.
Look, check this out, Camacho. You're speaking about his personal life, which I know nothing about his personal life except what I've witnessed in public.
I don't care about his personal life. I don't care about his personal life.
Relevant to how we see him in the ring, because
fighters
don't have to go in there and like each other, bro. They just have to go in there and contend. So what?
Well, I'm talking about Wilder the fighter, not Wilder the person. I'm talking about Wilder the fighter. When he lost that fight,
Wilder the fighter, you up here whining about him not showing sportsmanship in a sport that is absolutely corrupt. Period.
Oh,
why are you so bent on what Wilder did in response when Fury is up here calling people a cunt, pussy, disrespecting fighters in front of women? He has a checkered history. We're talking about one of the most disgraced boxers ever. Regardless of him winning last night, he's a cheater. He's been found guilty, suspended. He's a cokehead, and it was a lot of cheating scandal involved in his rematch. Now, when I came on here, I didn't really talk about the rematch. I just basically gave Fury his props for last night. He won fair and square. He was the last man standing, bro. That's all I'm saying. You're busy talking about his character.
No, I'm not. What I'm saying is his fan base led to his own downfall, bro.
Overall, his fan base on YouTube, or the overall consensus of his fan base? Because the
ones on YouTube and the ones who have direct contact with him.
Fan base. It's white and black people that support Deontay Wilder and brown.
I agree. Let's get the race thing out of it. I'm talking about Wilder's fan base. It could be an Indian person, any
circles and subliminal shots. Camacho, come on, man.
I'm not. You're projecting that onto me. That's coming from you. But like I was saying, man, Wilder, he's just, and honestly, dude, both of them look kind of trash. And I think they both look kind of sluggish, kind of rusty. And Wilder, man, the thing that frustrates me about Wilder, yeah.
Well, so you found nothing Wilder did last night.
I think they both look. Wilder was gassed for
the box. What did Wilder do good last night in a losing effort? What did he do good?
What did he do good? He had some good uppercuts. He went for the body in the first round, but I mean, I honestly think Fury was just toying with him. Like there was a lot of opportunities where Fury could have just gone up in the head. Like he has to really extend to go for the body. He wasted a lot of energy doing that.
How many times did Wilder knock Fury down?
In the fourth?
No, period. In this fight last night, how many times?
Like ever? 3 times.
Fury knocked Wilder. I said, how many times did Wilder knock Fury down?
Oh, twice.
So Fury knocked Wilder down, right? How many times? 3, right?
Yep.
So he ended up finishing the fight with a knockdown. It's no ifs, ands, or buts about anything. He stopped Wilder. He stopped him definitively. If you ever listen to my lives in the rematch, I said, yo, Kenny Bailey stopped the fight because the towel came in. And I was like, why did Mark Breland do that? If so-called, Wilder being the boss, he gave orders not to throw in the towel. But last night, it was definitive, man. Cut and dry.
I disagree because
Wilder standing up, and the way Wilder hit the canvas, now I would say to myself, it was healthy for the referee to step in and stop the fight because Wilder was out cold. But in the rematch, I didn't think the fight needed to be stopped because the towel was thrown in. I said, okay, but I felt that Wilder was returning and he was he was still fighting and he could have went on. But last night, no. I'd be a fool to sit up here and tell you that health-wise, family-wise, it was healthy for the referee to allow that fight to continue. No.
I think Wilder looked worse in the second fight, man. He was just uncontesting these shots a lot more. He looked fucking lost. He was stumbling on his ass. And the third fight, I mean, he was on his 2 feet. So I wouldn't have stopped the third fight. The second fight, I would have stopped it. Like when you have no equilibrium, you're just falling and tripping on your ass, and you look like you don't want to be there. It's just, I would have stopped that fight.
So the way Wilder was knocked down yesterday, you want to stop the fight?
What are you talking about yesterday?
That was the third fight.
I'm talking about the second fight. The second fight, I would have stopped it because his equilibrium was gone. He was stumbling on his own 2 feet. Like he looked just awful. Like get the guy out of it. The third fight, I think he actually hurt Fury with an uppercut in like the 8th round or something. So he was being competitive. But I wouldn't have thrown the towel.
He was stopped in the 11th though. He was tired. He showed signs of fatigue, right? And yeah. He did show a little bit of signs of coming on. Like I forgot what round it was, maybe the 9th.
Yeah.
When it seemed like he hurt Fury a little bit at the end of the round, but Fury came out in the opening of the next round and regained his momentum. But the whole point I was making about Wilder being shut down in the 11th round, he was froze. He was froze up. Fury hit him and he froze up on his feet and dropped to the canvas. You want to stop the fight?
Oh, no, I would have stopped. Some people are complaining that Wilder didn't get a 10th count on the 11th round. What do you think about that?
I mean, don't he deserve it? Don't he deserve the benefit of the doubt?
I agree, but
once again, I'm going to stick to what I believe in. I think it was a solid stoppage. That's all I can say. Wilder wasn't moving. He went out on his shield. He wasn't moving. When Fury hit him, I've seen boxers in person get hit and stiffen up and hit the canvas. And there's no way if they don't start moving once they hit the canvas, man, you got to stop the fight. You can't wait till they start moving. Now, look, everybody doesn't get that waiver, that pleasure. Fury, when he hit the canvas, he wasn't moving either in the rematch. He wasn't moving, but he got that count. Wilder, he wasn't moving. He didn't get the count. And Fury, in my opinion, looked worse off than Wilder did.
So there's a racial double standard.
It had nothing to do with race. I just explained to you, man. I don't know what you're talking
about. So there's just a double standard. Okay.
Yeah.
I agree. I agree. I would have given him a 10 count.
Huh?
But I agree. I would have given him a 10 count. But I will say this though. The Fury knockout was a flash knockout. Now, it was an extended count. Yeah. Maybe I would have stopped the fight. Jack Reese chose not to. Yeah. The Fury knockout.
When he hit him with a right, left, it was a flash knockout. Come on, bro.
Yeah, listen to me. You're not choosing to listen. You're choosing to misconstrue my words so you can, I don't know, in your mind.
Then you say flash. Then you say flash. You talking to a person who has a college.
Yeah. Okay.
I understand English since I was able to pass a critical period of learning as a kid. So you say
maybe you understand speaking English, but you don't understand listening English because you can't listen to what I have to say.
I extracted flash, and I know what flash means. When Deontay Wilder knocked down Fury in the rematch, it wasn't a flash knockdown, bro. Stop it.
Listen to what I say about flash. when Fury knocked out Wilder in the third fight, it was due to accumulation. Like he was just mauling him that round, hitting him clean in the head so many times. It was getting kind of dangerous, and we saw that knockout coming from a mile away. The Wilder knockout, it wasn't like Wilder was touching him up. He only hit him with a one hitter quitter. That was a flash knockout. It wasn't due to accumulation.
Fight, though? Was that the only knockdown in the rematch when he knocked him down in the 12th?
What are you talking about, Wilder or Fury?
When Wilder knocked down Fury in the rematch, right? Their second fight. Was that the only knockdown of the fight?
When Wilder knocked out Fury in the rematch.
I said when they fought in the rematch. What is a rematch? It was
I know.
Fight outside of the first time they met. So after the first time,
because there's two rematches. You know that, right? There's two rematches.
Look, they fought in the rematch. Yesterday was a trilogy. They fought in the rematch.
Okay.
They fought in the rematch. And we're talking about Wilder flash knockdown. Okay. How many knockdowns was in that fight?
3. 2 to 3. 2 to 3. I guess some of them he stumbled on his ass, but he got knocked down in the third. He got knocked down in the fifth. As you can see, 2, he was given 10 counts. I mean, I don't know what you're even complaining about, dude.
You're not listening, Camacho.
All right, speak and I'll listen. You're the smarter guy. You got the degree. Tell me.
No, it don't have anything to do with smart. Just listening, because I don't want to start playing mind games with you on here, because you come over here with whatever intentions you have, man. I'm just damn spinning you around.
I got good intentions, World Combat. I got good intentions, bro. I'm a good guy.
Check this out. The first time they fought, right? We're talking about the flash knockdown you mentioned, right?
Yeah.
So what happened in that fight? It was a back and forth exchange between Wilder and Fury and everything in the first fight, right? It was a draw. Yeah. It ended up in a draw, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I agree.
So when did Deontay Wilder have a flash knockdown? What round was it? What round?
12th round. The 12th round. In the first fight, Deontay Wilder gave Fury a flash knockdown.
Was that the only knockdown Wilder had on Fury that fight, though?
No, he knocked down the 9th round.
Okay, so he had 2 knockdowns. He basically worked himself up to that 12th round knockdown. He knocked Fury down the worst way. I mean, Fury was out. His eyes was closed. His mouth was open. It was a brutal knockdown. I mean, and Jack Reese gave him an extended count, in my opinion, which is irrelevant to this topic. But I'm just saying, it wasn't a flash knockdown when Deontay hit him with a right hand and then a left, and Fury went back and his head hit off the canvas. It wasn't a flash knockdown, bro.
I'm just saying, like, it can't, like, even if he got knocked down like in the round, like even like going back to the 11th round and the 10th round, which Fury like won those rounds. That's what I'm trying to say, you know. Like, he came out of nowhere. Like, Fury dominated the 10th and the 11th, and then this happened. It was a flash. Was it an extended count? Of course it was. It was like 11 seconds. But I mean, hey, look, that's the referee's discretion, you know. And in this newest fight, Fury got sort of an extended count, and Wilder did too. So it is what it is, man.
I don't have anything to say about a count, except it would have been a courtesy to provide Wilder a count to see if he would have came to. It would have been great to see if he would have came back. You know what I'm saying? When I say came back, I'm talking about he would have been able to get up or move or show any signs of life to the point where the referee considered him to be able to stand up and try to beat the count. But he just waved it off. And then we look at how Fury was knocked down in the first fight, and Jack Reese sat down on his knees and literally goddamn prayed for Fury to come back to consciousness. You know what I'm saying? I mean, both of these fighters was knocked out in a bad way. They was in a bad way. But like I said, Fury won this fight fair and square. Every referee is different. And I don't have anything else to say about it. It was a damn good classic, a heavyweight classic. And I don't have anything bad to say about Fury's win yesterday. He stopped Wilder. It was a heavyweight classic. And whatever happens after that, he fight Usyk, or that he have to wait after Usyk Joshua. So be it. It's all good.
I agree. Who do you think won the trilogy?
I'm not.
Who do you think won the trilogy?
Huh?
Who do you think won the trilogy? Like overall?
What?
Like who do you think won the trilogy between Fury and Wilder? In your heart. In
my heart, it has nothing to do with heart when he stopped him. This didn't go to the final bell, so it's no heart of anything. What are you doing, Camacho? Like,
no, I'm just saying because I'm just saying, like, okay, so
that's just,
like
that doesn't make any sense at all, bro.
Well, listen to what I have to say. You gotta learn how to listen. In the first fight, in your heart, I mean, a lot of people think that Wilder won because he got an extended count, right? Because in my opinion, in my heart, I think Mike Tyson beat Buster Douglas because he got an extended count.
That's totally different than what we're looking at right now, though. Because Buster Douglas was up on the elbow and his eyes was open, and he was basically coherent enough to what was going on. Whether it was extended count, he was coherent. The way, if you look at my thumbnail, check this out. If you look at the thumbnail, right? Let me get this out the way. Wilder is laying there. He seems to be in a bad way right now. That's different than the way Buster Douglas looked when it came to Tyson, bro. Buster Douglas was thinking about a lot of shit, but his eyes was open. Deontay Wilder looks bad. He looks like he doesn't even have any sign of getting up off the canvas, man. Real talk.
Damn it. I'm worried about his health, man.
What you mean you worried about his health?
Wilder, like, he had a lot of uncontested shots, bro. Like clean shots to the head. Like, I hope he doesn't have any internal bleeding or nothing. Like, I hope he's all right, and I hope he comes back, man. Like, seeing this fight, bro, man, Wilder would have beat Joshua, bro. He's got way more heart. Wilder would have beat the fuck out of Joshua.
I don't give a fuck about Joshua, man. He's sorry. He's sorry. Joshua's sorry, just like I've been saying. He's overrated and he's sorry. Period. And that just goes to show it that he was defeated by a last-minute replacement, and now he was just defeated by a cruiserweight who moved up, and he fought twice. He fought Witherspoon and he fought Chisora, and he went in there and took Joshua belts. Man, get out of here, man. Joshua's always been overrated.
Hey, chill out, man. Usyk's probably go down as a Hall of Famer. Like, he's not just any other fighter. Gold medalist, won the World Boxing Super Series, undisputed at cruiserweight, went up and became unified at heavyweight. There's a lot of cruiserweights to move up and dominate. Holyfield, Mora was a light heavyweight. So, I mean, that's nothing to be ashamed of. But Manny Ruiz one, yeah, that one's bad.
I mean, look who he beat, though. Usyk beats Joshua. Now, if Usyk is going to be anything that you just mentioned, he has to go in here and fight for undisputed. If Usyk goes in here and become undisputed at heavyweight, a cruiserweight moving up, and being able to unify the titles for undisputed and beat Tyson Fury, then maybe we have a conversation. But right now, he hasn't did that. Yo, Mark, what's good with you? What's good with Mark Nash on deck? What's good, bro?
Yo. My voice is back. Oh, man, what a fight. What a night, man. I just watched the fight again with my wife just now.
Yeah. You know Camacho, right? You know Camacho, right, Mark?
If not, we about to get familiar. What's up, my brother? How you?
Yeah, man. What's up, man?
Camacho,
yeah, Camacho was up here talking about, but in your heart, who won the trilogy? Fury won the trilogy, bro. It ain't no in my heart. It ain't that's my baby, and I said, this is a trick ass question.
Look, I'm just saying, like, if you think that Wilder won the first one and Fury cheated, the second one, it's 1-1.
Camacho, your subliminal conversations does not work over here, bro.
I'm not being subliminal, man. I swear.
How stupid will it sound for me to say, in my heart, I believe Wilder won? And then you turn around and say, "Well, did you watch the fight? That's the dumbest shit I ever heard."
But you think he cheated the second one, don't you?
What does that have to do with last night, though, bro? Stay on topic.
Okay.
Look, I ain't gonna let you know those, Scott. I ain't gonna lie to you though. You know me. I've never really subscribed to the Mark Breland part. I do believe, and I believe that when I saw that fight, that second fight in real time, the gloves didn't look floppy. But when I saw the pictures and everything afterward, it didn't look on the up and up. Last night, watching the fight in real time, everything looked on the up and up. I'm telling you, I don't mean to start the conspiracy shit, but today when I rewatched that fight, I saw a lot of things not going right. Basically, granted, game plan has a lot to do with it. Could have been the weight and him just looking so tired. I ain't gonna lie, I was upset at Malik Scott last night because I was like, you should
start for number one. What's your number one?
It said shit look kind of shaky to me. Number one, why does shit look kind of shaky?
Yeah, like you were saying, you saw a lot of things. What's your number one problem that you saw last night?
Some of that was the officiating.
Okay.
I'll start there. I didn't like the referee. He gave Tyson a hard warning in round 3 about putting Wilder in the headlock. Never gave him no more warnings, but he allowed it for the rest of the night. He literally, and people were saying Wilder is leaning on, Wilder's putting his head there. No, he's not putting his head there. You can literally see Fury reaching up with his left arm, wrapping it around Wilder's neck, and pulling him down in a headlock. And when he got that first knockdown, that's how he got the knockdown. He had put him in the headlock. Maybe subconsciously he remembered what the ref said, and he let him go. But as he letting him go, he throws the uppercut, pop, then shoots another shot.
That's dirty boxing. That's up to two people to stop that from happening. For referee and Wilder.
Yeah, I mean, I ain't got no problem with dirty fighting, bro. Everyone said that Andre Ward was a dirty fighter. I never had a problem with him. People said B-Hop was a dirty fighter.
But yeah, I don't want to go to. I get it. I don't want to talk about who else was dirty and who wasn't dirty. I want to stick to this because I don't want to lose the spot. The guy is literally taller than Wilder. He has longer arms. Wilder's not putting his head down there like that. Tyson Fury is reaching up and wrapping his arm around his head, and as he holding him in the headlock, he's shooting uppercuts. The referee got to step in for that. The referee, what was the point of giving him a hard warning early in round 3, and you never warned him no more about it the rest of the fight? You just allowed him to keep doing it. The referee got to do that. He'd allowed too much in behind the head on both guys. Didn't like that. And that long count, my G, that count, that second knockdown, oh my God. And that was a Greek. The first one was bad enough, but when he knocked him down that second time, I was at 10. And when I looked up, he was at 7. And Fury was just, still letting Fury get up, 7 or 8. So that count was crazy. But that's just my take on it. And it's some of them shots where if y'all said them gloves flopped in the second fight, they flopped some in this fight. So what happened? Like you can see them moving at the wrist as he's throwing the left, but he's not punching with the left. It's like a slap with the left, and then he punches with the right. It was like a swooping shot where he's like, he's not really hitting them with the left at times. He was like a slapping or a pawing type shit. And then he'll punch with the right. So I don't mean to start up the conspiracy theories, but golly, last night I was all for it. I was like, yo, this motherfucker lost. He lost. It is what it is, man. I want this toxic shit to be over. And because we beefing and arguing on YouTube about a lot of shit. Motherfuckers living vicariously through a fighter. You don't even know this man. Probably never been to his fight or bought a pay-per-view. But y'all want to get mad at me because I see things I don't like. I told people before that fight started, I said, I don't like the way his face looked. He's rubbing his eyes already, like the eyes bother him. Maybe it's anxiety, nervous energy. When you saying Mark Breland spiked your water because you didn't have your legs, that's what happened when you get nervous. And that's going to happen at the biggest fight of your life, bro, at that time. So I didn't like his face. He was looking like jittery to me. He came out, he shot his load almost in the first round. And I was truly upset with Malik Scott that you didn't know this guy couldn't carry his weight for that long. Because Wilder looked tired very, very, very early. I'm talking about round 2, round 3, he's looking super gassed. Some would say after round 1, he was gassed out. But with that, I digress. I'm about to spark this thing up, man. What you think of my assessment of that, Mr. White?
Man, you broke it down, man. You broke it down. I completely agree. And that's one of the things I was trying to tell World Combat. Like, Wilder he's a warrior, but he's human. Like sometimes when you're at the biggest stage of your career, you could be nervous. You know, even if you're a boxer, you've done this for so many years. Like I always thought in the second fight, Wilder looked nervous to me, and in this one, I he took a long time to get out of his dressing room. Who knows? Like maybe he was having a mini panic attack. Like, you know, like we don't know. Like Wilder is only human, man, but he's brave. He's brave. He's brave. He's brave and he's a warrior. But you got to realize that sometimes, like, what's the reason why he lost his legs? Maybe he was just fucking nervous, you know? What do you think
but
about
I don't
that?
want to put that. I don't want to put that coming out the dressing room for him because it's a TV production. I worked in those kind of things. Sometimes it's they got to queue up the video. Sometimes the rapper who's walking you to the ring, his mic isn't there, or like these guys got to have everything right. They need their music right. They need the video to run. It's TV, so. And sometimes that's the people in Vegas, the showrunner, saying, "Hold him for a second. Hold him for a second. We got to reset the pyrotechnics or whatever." You know what I'm saying? It could be anything. So I don't want to just put that automatically on him because we don't know. I just want to go with what we did see, and we did see a long ass count. Because if you can be counting with it, 1, 2, 3, 4, you're gonna get to 10. And that ref is going to be at like 7 because he's going 1. Oh yeah, 2.
See, you know, Mark, check this out though, Mark.
3. He count like my 2-year-old, man. Like
and he yelled 5. He like 5. Like
check this out. They supposed to pick up the count from ringside, all right?
And he didn't.
But check this out. He did. But check this out though. The same thing happened when Fury was knocked out. And Jack Reese was the one who was counting. So the reason why I haven't really used that comparison because it's frustrating. They changed the ref out at the last minute. They changed the judge. Then it brings it back into how boxing is embroiled in controversy. I didn't want to make this about the count and shit. The only reason it is very imperative to be spoken on, just like you're doing. It's imperative, right? But then, you know, I look at Deontay was stopped in the 11th round and he wasn't provided the opportunity like Fury was given in the first fight. But I say to myself, I said, would he have started to move and get up? I don't know. I can't make that assumption if he would or wouldn't. He just wasn't moving at the time. And I can say the same thing about Fury. Fury wasn't moving when Jack Reese was counting early on in that count. He started moving a little bit later.
Yeah.
On count 15 and shit.
Yeah.
And 60, whoever this guy is, 69. The link is in the chat. You calling me racist and everything. I'm not racist. And just because me and Camacho is having a conversation, we know each other. We never really agreed on too much of anything, but it has nothing to do with race. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna have his opinion. I'm gonna have mine. But you're more than willing to click the link if you want. You know, it's all good, bro.
You come in on some bullshit, I'm gonna roast you though, bro. I'm gonna flame your ass. Cause look, I ain't got time for it. The man don't be doing to Scotty like that, man. Scotty gave him the man his credit. He said he didn't want to hit. He said he wasn't even gonna play with In My Heart, who won. Camacho tried to set him up for that one. Camacho tried to walk you right through.
Nah, I'm not, bro. You guys,
Camacho up here acting like I can't understand. I don't understand English and
no, bro. You
manipulative.
think I'm playing I'm not
Fury.
I'm not Fury. I'm not playing psychological games, bro.
You are, man. You know, if I wasn't listening, I wouldn't be able to respond to the BS that you was trying to feed me, bro. You know, in your heart, Scotty, did you believe that? Wow, you know, what did you feel in your heart? He was stopped.
Let me tell you what I meant by that. Like, if you were the ref in the first fight, you would have called the fight off because Fury was clearly concussed and went to sleep. So that's like a moral win for Wilder. And the second fight, Fury cheated. He tampered his gloves. So that wasn't like a legitimate win. And then the third fight, I mean, Fury won, but he did get an extended count. So maybe Wilder won in your heart. Like, if you were the ref, like, if you got to choose what happens in the ring or like how it's being facilitated. You know what I'm saying? And I gave you the example with Buster Douglas and Mike Tyson because in my heart, I thought Mike won the fight. I thought Buster Douglas was given a 13-second count and Mike was given an 8-second count.
And I told you that Buster Douglas' eyes was open too. So the analogy is pretty, you know, that's a fragmented analogy because Buster his eyes was open. He was up on one elbow. You know what I'm saying? Wilder, he did not seem like he was aware. He was coherent like that. Like he was paying attention, like he was going to make the count if it was one. He just looked to be in a bad place the way he was frozen off the ropes and then he landed. It was just like Dillian White when he was starched by Povetkin. You know, Dillian White landed back and it was bad. It looked bad, man.
Look, all these dudes low key look bad when they go down because they're so big, man, and they usually getting hit by a big guy. Wilder, when he got dropped in the third, when that uppercut hit him, it was like his legs went stiff both times. So I get it, man. Shit happens. But somebody put this in the chat. They said, what you right here on the screen said, if he would have kept going to the jab to the body, he would have won. Not necessarily, man. Like, you got to switch that stuff up. It was times where Fury started trying to time him doing that with a quick little short left as he was leaning in like that. Also, Wilder, as he was doing that jab to the body, he was kind of leaning over to the right a little too much. And Fury was going to started hitting him behind the head right there. But it was a legal shot because the way the opponent has turned his body. But definitely didn't like the officiating. Who was the ref that they took out to put in this guy? Do anybody remember?
I forgot, to be honest with you.
I don't know, but the guy they put in is Russell Mora. I mean, I think he did an okay job.
No, who did they have before Russell, bro? That's what I meant. Who was the ref?
I wanted to really caveat to what you said, Mark, about what Tony Boswell put up here. Wilder was doing excellent, in my opinion, with jabbing to the body. You know, we was eager to see what he's been working on with Malik Scott. And when he came out there and he was jabbing to the body, it looked great. It seemed like it was effective. You know, Tyson Fury was really apprehensive about engaging, but it was early in the fight, though. And then all of a sudden, you know, Deontay Wilder abandoning the jab, and he goes back to trying to measure with the left to land the right. And the fight just changed, man. You know, it seemed like he gassed early. I don't know if he had an adrenaline dump. I don't know if it was the weight, but when he shot that right hand, it was slow. It wasn't as a slingshot. It wasn't sharp. It wasn't surgical as it always been. I don't know, man.
You're the third person in less than 8 hours I've heard say adrenaline dump. I keep hearing that phrase straight like that. He had adrenaline dump, or Wilder might suffer from anxiety. What exactly do you mean when you say he had an adrenaline
dump? Like, this fight was super personal, you know, leading up. It was super personal, man, because all the damn scandal that happened in the rematch and everything that we've heard from Wilder, man, during the hiatus from February, you know, when he lost his title all the way up to now, it was extremely personal. And Wilder said he wanted it back in blood. So if you look at how he was fighting early on, it just seems like his breathing wasn't even the same. Like, he was really trying hard to punish Fury. You know what I'm saying? He was really trying hard to close him out. And it's just an assumption that when you go into a fight and it's personal, you may fight off a different type. You might fight off emotions rather than just calmness and poise and what you taught in the gym. You know, you're breathing correctly. You might find yourself biting down in the mouthpiece every time you throw a punch and not using proper breathing. And you end up tiring yourself out and fatiguing early. And it seemed like Wilder fatigued early in this fight. Like, his legs was gone again. It just seemed like his facial expression was gone. You know, it's just my observation, bro.
Well, his facial expression was looking like a deer in the headlights from the point they took the mask off until they announced his name. That's when he winded his arm up and he did the, you know, like he was cocking the gun on his arm, right? Up until then, though, he was looking like his eyes was looking glossy. Right before they said run, left corner, red corner, you ready? Blue corner, you can see him rubbing his eye, his left eye. He's rubbing his eye. I'm like, why are you rubbing his eye already? Like, is something wrong with his eyes? But that's what they talk about, the bright lights. But I don't think that's necessarily could be adrenaline dump or the magnitude of the moment sometimes, because Wilder, shouldn't he be used to this? He defended his title what 5 or 10 times in 5 years. The
Yeah. So,
magnitude of the event. Go
Hey,
ahead.
World Combat, man. Look. Oh, there's no bad blood on my side, man. Look, I respect we disagree. I respect the fact that you cover the fights, and I respect that you're my elder, man. I gotta go, man. But yeah, good shit, man.
appreciate you
All right.
pulling up, bro. Take
Yep.
it easy there, Camacho. Yeah, man. I think we have more hate in the live chat than we do on the panel. You know what I'm saying? I'm not making up excuses. And you know what Mark Nash said earlier about the way Wilder looked when he took off the mask, or whatever. I wasn't paying too much attention to that in comparison to the way he looked when he removed the mask in the rematch. In the rematch, the second fight, he looked different, real different. But I was speaking more so when the fight was ongoing this time last night. When the fight was going, he just seemed fatigued, man, by his physical exertion. Like the way he was throwing punches, they seemed lethargic, slow.
Hell yeah, that left hook was slow in round 1 and round 2. I was like, that ain't gonna get it, bro.
He was just
And
standing in
Tyson
one
Fury
place
was fast.
like he had cylinder blocks on it. I mean, he just looked like he was stationary. When he would throw a shot, Fury automatically come with a counter, and Wilder's right there to be hit. I don't know. It's no excuses, bro. I'm just telling you my
I don't see
assessment of
all
the
I
fight.
don't see all the shit Malik Scott did, bro. And I know this is gonna be an unpopular opinion because you know I support Wilder, and I
Yeah.
like and y'all know I
But
fuck with Tate
you
Jones,
don't have to say you
but
support Wilder because you're
but
giving your opinion.
oh no, people, but you know people will take your time, take your wrench and time you out if you say anything that is not
Yeah, on certain
that's
channels. Yeah,
critical. If
you're right.
you
You're right.
critical at all. So I just wanted to be clear. Two things I want to be clear. First of all, D Nice won me $100. I need Ricky Williams to pay that bet. I'm gonna find the footage, but D Nice won me $100. Thank you, D Nice. Thank you so much. God bless
Okay.
you, brother. And you're a man of your word. He said, I remember it now, but I gotta go back and find the footage just in case he don't want to pay. But D Nice said, if I win the 100, I'll pay you. If you win the 100, you pay. He said, if you win, I'm gonna pay you. If I win, you just make that donation to Mark Nash, and I don't want it in no super chat. I want it in cash. You can see my cash chat. Okay, thank you, D Nice. But but I want to say this, man. For the people who are saying Malik Scott had a hell of a game plan and Wilder just reverted back to old Wilder. I never saw the new Wilder. I only saw the new Wilder on the tapes that was released. I never saw it in the fight. All I saw was him, okay, the first round, he did something different. He was jabbing to the body more, but he always could jab to the body. That wasn't no new wrinkle. I was looking for the good left hook to the liver and better head movement, not going straight back. And when he pulls back straight that back, sometimes he wouldn't even take a whole step and move his whole body. He'll lean back, and once he will blitz him because he know he ain't got no leg behind him. Tyson Fury's a skilled boxer. He knows this guy ain't got no leg, and he will rush him. So sorry about that. It's somebody calling my phone.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
I feel like
Go ahead.
So I just saw him, I didn't see all the new shit, and I'm kind of upset at the trainer who's not telling him, "Hey, bro, who didn't realize going into the fight, your guy couldn't carry this weight for 12 rounds. 5 rounds, let alone 12. Just then,
I'm not really sold on saying he couldn't carry the weight. I'm just here speaking on how lethargic and slow his punches look. And he's been 231 before, from my understanding, 230, 231. So for him to come in at 238, he was beefed up. I'm not sure how much weight training he had. He was up there bench pressing 300 and some pounds. When you look, anybody knows when you start getting up under that bar, when you start doing weight training, put on muscle. If you're not remediating speed with speed drills, you're gonna slow down. You know, that muscle will slow your ass down for real. It's just the way it is. Hey, the wrenches, Man, do what you got to do, Wrench. You know, if they talking, you know, you don't have to time them out early, you know, whatever. But Jay Ocho, man, what he was saying, that's what it is. Because look, I haven't even timed you out, and 6ix9ine keep on just talking. The wrenches are there for a reason. You know what I'm saying? And it is what it is. If you keep on talking shit and you get blocked, then you deserved it. Because I didn't block you yet. But if my wrench is in there telling you, I don't know who this other guy is talking about, don't block anyone, Ahmed. Who are you, bro? Who are you talking about don't block anyone? You want to come over here and troll, man. Let's talk about the topic. You know? But how do you, hey, I wanted to say this too. I thought we did see a new wrinkle in Wilder with his patience and trying to box. Him jabbing to the body and getting off with his jab. I thought that was a new wrinkle. I thought it was going to lead to bigger and better things in the fight. I thought his strategy was going to, you know, open up some of the techniques him and Malik has been working on, bro. You know, like I thought that's what was going to happen, and it never did. He sealed the envelope back up and went back.
I saw a little bit of that in round one, and he looked.
Huh?
But I saw a little bit of that in round one, as you guys were speaking to earlier. But in round two, I saw Tyson Fury do something different too. It wasn't just Wilder went away from what he was doing. Tyson Fury picked up the pace in round two. You can hear Sugar Hill tell him in the corner, because during my broadcast last night, I couldn't hear the corner and I couldn't really hear the broadcast. Every now and then I turn the volume up so the audience can hear it. But for the most part, I'm just calling the fight. And during the breaks, I wasn't listening to the corner. I was letting the people on the panel who's watching the fight with me tell me who they think runned around real quick. So, but today I watched it and I'm listening to the instructions in the corner. And after round one, Sugar Hill said, he's getting tired already. You see how easy you land that 1-2?
But that was obvious.
Shit. He said it's the same shit, as in like he ain't changed nothing. Step to him.
Correct, but he's saying, you know, he looked tired. That's basically the way he's observing the movement of Wilder. I don't think he was telling Fury to do anything as far as the technique that he was seeing. He was just basically saying it's the same shit. He looked lethargic. He looked weird. You know, pick up the pace. You know, he tired. He did look tired early on. I agree.
So I don't think it's what Wilder that they said a lot of people saying he didn't stick to the game plan at the round one. No, Tyson Fury didn't do as much in round one. Tyson Fury let him see what he was doing, but Tyson Fury was still his 1-2 was looking like a light heavyweight or a cruiser compared to the speed that Wilder and the velocity Wilder had on his punches, especially that left. Wilder left hook
I have to agree with the surgical, the accuracy of Tyson Fury when he started to get off that 1-2 combination. I mean, he was popping the head back of Wilder. I was like, damn, you know, Fury looks quick. Like, damn, you know, his target. The way he was aiming in on Wilder, throwing that 1-2 was accurate, very precise, man. Tony Boswell make a good point. He said Wilder held his breath, sitting down on his punches, trying to keep power in his shots, and he's correct. That's what I was talking about as far as Wilder, you know, coming in there with the personal, you know, energy, you know, gritting his mouthpiece or what have you, trying to really sit down on his punches. That has a lot to do with breathing. Incorrect breathing, man. You know, if you're not breathing out when you're exerting that punch, yeah, you're gonna get tired, man. You're gonna get stupid tired. I didn't say you was trolling. I just say you came in here talking about don't block anyone, man. It's people in here with wrenches and people who don't have them. You know what I'm saying? How you gonna direct the wrenches what not to do? You know what I'm saying? If 69 keep on talking bullshit, you know, he need to go. You know, he was up here continue to say the same thing, man. Stop whining, bro. You can click the link too, bro. You know what I'm saying? Anybody who's in the chat that want to voice their opinion, they can click the link, man. But I agree there, Mark, with Tyson Fury picking up the pace. But I think he picked up the pace in the rematch too, in the second fight. I mean, you know what I'm saying? That's what I feel. Transcendent Sports on deck. Salute the world. Mark Nash, what's good? Tony said nobody's making excuse. I'm only making comments about how I seen him fight Malik. Should have had him to calm down, settle down on his back foot, not keep throwing that right hand. Much respect. When I saw him start to unleash or throw the right hand, when I seen that left just hanging out there without him setting it up with a jab, I said, oh shit. Like, he's not setting up the right hand at all. Like, I don't see the double hook to the body. I don't see any of the technique that was displayed on the training vids. I'm not seeing this. You know what I'm saying? That's all. I'm not seeing the same thing what Mark reiterated. I wasn't seeing what was in the video. Even the head movement. I didn't see him duck up under slip Tyson Fury's punches. I seen him getting touched up pretty accurately. You know what I'm saying? D Nice in the building. He says it's going to be a long 2021 for the PBC.
Oh yeah, no, because November 20th is coming, bro.
Yeah, it is.
And y'all know what's happening. Y'all know what's in front of us. Y'all know what we came to do. And Team Crawford, we understand the assignment in front of us. Yes, and I am Team Crawford. I support him 150%. He's gonna go there and stop Sean Porter. Mark my words.
Yeah,
gonna stop Sean Porter.
Thing. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Ain't no way around it.
And then I think D Nice may be also talking about, the Canelo bout and Caleb Plant too.
We shall see. I don't know if he's talking about that because I ain't talked to him about that.
They fighting coming up, right?
Yeah, but I don't know if D Nice is picking Caleb Plant to beat Canelo. I feel like Canelo is
exactly. He said it's going to be a long 2021 for PBC.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Therefore, Sean Porter losing, and therefore it may be insinuating Caleb Plant may lose to Canelo.
Right. Charlo then got a draw on his undisputed, and ain't even trying to run it back.
Shout out to Adrian the Problem Broner. Fury abused Wilder in his corner, right in front of his wife and training man. Damn. Hey man, that happens in the sport. It's nothing it's happened throughout the sport. Just like when Codgerton was knocked out in front of his wife, he was bent over the ropes. He was unconscious. They took the man off the ropes and he laid him on his back. He was asleep. He was done. He wasn't moving, and his wife was right there ringside. I mean, that's boxing.
Right. Your wife's gonna be there. If you don't want your wife to see it, leave it at home.
Absolutely. And think about Baranchik. Think about what Montana Love did to Baranchik and his wife sitting ringside, looking at him take that beating. It happens in the sport.
Tyrone Woodley mama ran ringside when he got knocked out one time. Remember that?
Mm-hmm. Yep. She
ran right there to the damn octagon. He got knocked out. It's okay. It's gonna happen, man. It's part of the sport. But what somebody is saying that I definitely agree with. He said no combination was thrown. That's a lie. Tyson Fury was throwing 1-2s. Wilder was trying to throw his 1-2, and then at some point it was like he would just take a leaping step with that right hand caught back like he tossing a javelin, and Fury would take 2 or 3 steps back and be out of range, and Wilder would have to reset. But then it got to a point where Fury was so tired that he just balled up and just tried to see if he can eat the punch, or he'll lean back because these guys were getting fatigued. Somebody else was telling me earlier, Fury never looked tired in his fight. Man, Fury could have stopped Wilder a lot earlier if he wasn't tired, because Wilder didn't have no defense. Fury was tired. He was slow on the trigger. It was times Wilder didn't even have his hands all the way up, and you could see him like, oh shit, put your hands up, and he had to remember. So yes, this was definitely a mega fight. It was definitely worth the $80 because of the undercards, but the undercards and the prelims was not better than the main event. We had knockdowns on both sides. I think, did we have multiple knockdowns? We didn't have 5 knockdowns and no fight on the card, let alone 2 from this guy and 3 from the other. That happened nowhere on this card all night.
The Berlanga situation is another topic, but
yes, it's a topic of its own, right? A segment, at least a whole segment. You can do an hour on that Berlanga fight. and what he needs to work on.
And we're going to talk about that, man, because I want to get your OP on Berlanga. You know what I'm saying? The knockout artist, you know, no one can make it out the first round until he fought Damon Nichols. And now he steps in here with the guy who drops him. You know what I'm saying? Even though he was able to return, I mean, I'm just wondering if the criticism is going to mirror up the same way Devin Haney was touched by Jorge Linares. Are you going to erase everything that he did leading up to that point? I mean, but let me get the Ronnie Pickerton on deck. As much as I enjoy the fight, I have to say that both look like amateurs. There was no combination thrown, no cardio. This is what Mark just commented on, and I totally disagree with you on that. I mean, if you see a combination thrown in this fight, obviously you was under the influence of something, or you wasn't really paying attention to the fight, because it was combinations thrown in that fight, primarily by Tyson Fury, to be honest with you.
Beautiful combinations. The left-right was amazing in the first round. Pop, pop. He was catching Wilder with that. He was blinding him with the left, and he was hitting him with the right. And Wilder, again, was turning his head to the left, so was catching him on the ear or a little behind the head. But he took the punches a lot better this time than he did the second fight. And he took a lot of punishment. Both guys took an extreme amount of punishment. Like,
oh yeah,
yeah, man. So now I don't think either one of these guys is gonna, you know, be how they were before before they met each other, before they had these 3 fights together. Definitely took years off their careers, not only in the time it took for the fights to come to fruition, but also the magnitude of the shots. These are 2 heavyweight guys. One guy has been down 4 times from a guy. The other guy has been down 5 times from a guy. Man, these are these are shots, man. These are big shots these guys are taking. And they all in their 30s, and they got family, and they made the money. So the question we had asking some people, do you think Wilder is going to retire? And if so, and if not, what's next for him? Who can he fight to get his confidence back up and use some of these things with Malik Scott? If he's going to stay with Malik Scott, he's going to have to face some lesser opposition and put those things to test, and instead of just going in there with the lesser opposition and blowing them out in a couple rounds. He's going to have to put some of these tools to the use. What do you think of that? Should he retire? And if not, who should he fight next? Because Dillian White should be next for Tyson Fury, according to the WBC. And the winner of that fight is going to fight the winner of the Usyk and Joshua rematch. So that's what the WBC
it was supposed to be Dillian White versus Otto Wallin winner.
Really, right? Dillian White got to do another eliminator before he gets
him and Otto Wallin was due to scrap, and then the winner of that will fight the winner of this fight.
Okay, I could be mistaken. I just know we had people on my show telling me the winner of this fight should be fighting Dillian White.
Hey, look, if it's Dillian White, it is what it is, man. You know, to answer your question about Wilder, it all depends on how his health is coming off this fight, because the only 2 losses he has on his record is from the same person. Just like he gave Luis Ortiz 2 brutal knockouts to Luis Ortiz, and Wilder took extreme punishment in his 2 losses to Tyson Fury. It's all about his health, man, you know, how he recover. I wouldn't say it's time for him to retire just because he lost twice, because they wasn't saying that about Luis Ortiz. And that knockout Wilder gave him the second time was brutal. I mean,
it was a 1 shot though, but
it was
one shot, and it was like right on the head. It wasn't pummeling like that. He was winning that fight.
But
arguably,
it doesn't have to be a pummeling. A knockout can be a knockout when you're getting hit by Deontay Wilder. You know what I'm saying? Look,
absolutely.
I'm not going to exclude the fact that this man still has power. He just has to figure out what's going on with his weight situation or his physical training regime. I don't know. Like, it seemed like Deontay was much more fluent at the lighter weights. God bless you to be a killer at lighter weights. You're not meant to be a heavyweight. You're not. Yeah, you're not
205, he was a beast because he was faster, and I think the right hand got there quicker.
That's power, dog.
Yeah, but at this point though, that's asking a lot for him now to lose 30 pounds.
No, not lose 30 pounds, but he doesn't need all the muscle because he operates better when he's just like Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury operates better when he has the entire Michelin Man suit on, and that's the way he is. You know, just like Ruiz. Andy Ruiz operates better being chubby, and that's the way he likes it.
Well, we ain't seen him how he fights how he looks now, because he looks like he's built like damn near Usyk now.
Who?
Ortiz. Ruiz is built like Usyk now.
Man, I mean,
he don't have all that Michelin Man suit on.
I wait till I see that shit, you know, because Photoshop is very prominent in social media. You know what I'm saying?
Fair enough. All I said is we don't know how good he's gonna be with that big weight on. Because when he put on extra weight, he got outboxed. He was too slow. He couldn't do nothing with Joshua when he had all that extra weight.
I mean, he got dropped by Chris Arreola, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying with Deontay Wilder, he might be a much effective killer at a lighter weight. God blessed him with that body composition, so he may not need to put on muscle mass. Even with facing Tyson Fury, I know that people are saying, okay, you know, he need to put on some muscle mass to handle Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury is comfortable at having all that damn blubber on. He's a whale in the ring. I mean, he moves well with that. That's who he is. And I say the same thing with Deontay Wilder. Lose a little bit weight and stick to what works, man. He made millions and a great career in front of his wife. And we're not even really talking about, you know, Deontay Wilder's. That's irrelevant to anything. Let me see.
I wouldn't even read that, man. I'll keep it moving.
Let me see. 1-2-1-2 clinch with some dirty boxing. Okay. Wilder stood up late for every round. After the first, he was done. I mean, we're not overlooking the fact that there were cardio issues going on with Wilder this fight. He absolutely looked drained and exhausted. Absolutely.
Early this time. That was the problem. It was just so early in the fight. And I said, this does not look good. But hey, I'm all for it. Like I said, man, no matter how much you care about somebody and you love them, you support them, one day they're going to retire and they're going to leave the sport. Are you going to leave the sport when they leave, or are you a fan of the sport? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So because I know some people stopped watching basketball when Michael Jordan retired. Then when he came back, they watched it again. He retired. They stopped again, and they didn't watch basketball again to LeBron. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. But the guy was not. I didn't see all this new stuff. And like I said, I can't stress it enough. I'm upset with the trainer. I know the fighter got to go in there and execute, but I didn't see the game plan. I didn't see what was the game plan? Just work jab to the body.
I mean, what if Wilder didn't execute the game plan?
I can accept that. I can accept that. I 1,000,000% accept that. But what I'm hearing out here, and when I say we, I'm talking about the YouTube streets. Shout out to the neighborhood. Everybody be pulling up. They are saying Malik Scott had a great game plan. Or big credit to Malik Scott. Where, man? Where's all? Because when you watch the fight back, it's times in the corner where they go to the corner and they sitting there. They putting the ice on him. Malik Scott, it's about 10, 20 seconds. He ain't said shit to him. He giving him the water. He putting the ice on him. He looking at him, and his right hand looked like it's shaking a little bit. I was like, this motherfucker is shaking. You can hear me saying on my live telecast. I was like, yo, he's shaking while he giving him the water. He's nervous.
I mean, that was his first time in the ring as a head, though. He was the head chief. You know what I'm saying? Listen, hey, you made a very solid point, man. And I think that's something we should identify that, okay, outside of the ring and training is different than the damn night when you have to step through the ropes and perform, period.
Right. And your best friend might not need to be your head coach, man.
I don't know if they best friends. I think
I'm gonna just put it up there. One of your best friends, your brother. You call him your brother.
Yeah, your brother.
Closer than a best friend. How about that?
I don't know if I can agree with you on Malik being nervous. He was a professional boxer, dog. I don't agree with that. I don't think he was nervous. I think he gave some pretty.
Has he ever been a professional trainer of a heavyweight fight trilogy on a pay-per-view
Yeah, it's
card?
a
No.
trilogy, but yeah, why should he be trembling and nervous?
Because he ain't never been in this situation as a fighter or a trainer or a coach.
Well, don't accept the job then. I didn't get that impression from Malik. I didn't
His
get
hand
it.
was
I didn't
shaking,
get
giving
that
him
he
the
was
water.
nervous.
He was shaky hands.
Man,
Looking
that
like
can be
oh, let
anything.
me be quiet, man. Let me be quiet.
That can be
He looking
anything.
like it can be anything. I get it. Maybe he needed to eat a Snicker bar to get his blood sugar right. His hands were shaking, baby. He was shaky, baby.
I
He was
don't know,
shaky.
man.
He was shaky. He was shaky, and I'm telling you. But regardless, let's say, oh, like, okay, fuck it. Maybe that's me looking at his hand in the water bottle different. I'm looking at the wrong thing, but I'm not hearing words. He didn't say nothing. Then finally, he said, "That ain't." He said, "That's not being alert. Being alert is blah 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 blah." You talking to him about being alert, my G? Where is the? What are you telling him other than being alert? Where's the fundamental thing you're gonna tell him? Hey, blah blah blah. Now at times he did do that, and at times Wilder settled in and he started saying, "Okay, put it up here. You're not holding it here. When you hold it here, he can go around it." Okay, now you're giving him some stuff, but yeah, you was telling him be alert. Are you alert? That ain't being alert doing this right here. You got to be like this and be roo when you being alert. Man, fuck that. Tell him hey, look, tell him to stop leaning straight back. Move your whole body. Stop leaning straight back. Duck under the shot. Like like you get what I'm saying? I don't hear him. I didn't hear a lot of such and such like we practice. I didn't hear that. Let me go back and watch it again and listen to and I'll really focus on what he's saying in the ring from his corner. But I didn't hear him.
So let me get this right. You would more so want Malik Scott to provide the same type of quantity of breakdown that he was given leading up to this fight when he was articulating certain things that he was working with Deontay Wilder with and everything. Like he was breaking it down. He was being very he was itemizing certain areas of bringing out technique that Deontay Wilder already had, and he was expressing that to whatever media format he was on. I understand that. Do we need that overlay with this fight? You know, him as a trainer, you don't have enough time for that. It's only a minute in between rounds. So, you know, you want to give your fighter water. The ears are on
20,
the side
20 months, didn't he?
The ears on the side of the head and be listening and getting water at the same time. So I don't know, man. Like putting the culpability, placing the culpability on Malik Scott for not giving enough instruction. I heard him throughout some of the rounds providing instruction for Deontay Wilder, but like you said, I'm not saying it was all 12 rounds.
Yeah, right. It wasn't all 12 rounds, and he did give him some instructions, J.A. And you know, and look, the fighter got to go in there and execute. I get it. I'm interested to hear what this game plan was because nobody know the official game plan, right? We just know he said we got a game plan. He still hasn't said what the game plan was. And we didn't see a game plan. We saw Wilder fighting how Wilder normally fights. We also heard Malik Scott said, "No, we didn't. I didn't teach him nothing," he kept saying, "I didn't." Or what was
Yeah,
those terms
he
you
just
used?
brought it out. He just
I brought out
what
what he
he
already had.
had.
Maybe he needs somebody to break him down and try to build up something new if he wants to ever be a heavyweight champ again, let alone undisputed. Because I told people I believe 1,000,000% he can be a heavyweight again. Probably just can't beat Tyson Fury right now. He might need to get in those other sanctioning bodies so he could get a chance at one of those other guys who's going to either be unified or undisputed or you know, over there, like in the WBO, the WBA, IBO, IBF, whatever. Get a chance to get at one of those, and then you can definitely be a two-time champ. You might just can't beat Tyson Fury. Sometimes people got your number, and they got your number on speed dial, baby. Sometimes that shit just happens. 40 pounds is 40 pounds. Okay?
He didn't pick up 40 pounds.
Huh?
Like
Tyson Fury outweighs him by 40 pounds in that fight, right?
Oh, you're talking about how? Okay, you're talking about how much Fury weighed.
Yeah, I'm talking about how much. Yeah, the weight disparity. Sometimes that guy who's 6'9", 277 versus your 238, and you just got this weight. Prior to that, you was 231. Prior to that, it was like always 205, 215. You know what I'm saying? Like this is a lot of weight, man. And me being a former fat boy who joined the military, lost weight, you can feel your body move differently. Then you gain the weight, you can feel your body, you can feel yourself being heavy. You feel it when you walk. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
and it's holding you down. It's like a fucking vest, man. It's like a fat suit. I'm not trying to put all the blame on Malik Scott, but if we're gonna give some blame out for what went right and what went wrong, it's not just all giving Fury's credit. Fury did a hell of a job, absolutely. But if you're a Wilder fan, you got to regroup. It's time to go back to the drawing board, regroup. Because if we're not gonna go back to the drawing board and regroup, all we're doing is doing what? We just hoping things gonna get better. We just gonna just say, okay, we gonna retire. No, you gotta go back to the drawing board. You gotta regroup. You gotta plan, plot, strategize, and see what can be done differently. What did I do wrong? Was it the camp? Was it, hey man, how about the miles? How many miles he doing? I know he say he do pull-ups off the boat and he swim, but we know Tyson Fury go running, and we see him going running. That's a different way your body is moving, and it's going to simulate more of what you might be doing in the ring versus swimming. But those swimming motions is what he was doing with some of those punches. Definitely looked like he was doing some swimming motions. I didn't like it. Didn't like it.
A swimming motion.
Oh yeah, he's swimming. Yeah, he was. Yeah, it was the windmill technique.
Well, I don't want to insert training regimes in here because we're talking about over a year and a half, Mark. Over a year and a fucking half for these two individuals to get ready for this fight. And
absolutely,
I believe at certain points in time, even
but what point did he I'm sorry, not to cut you off, but at what point Malik Scott wasn't his trainer for the whole year and a half? He didn't fire Mark Breland, and we don't know when he started training exactly. When Malik Scott really I'm moving in on the compound.
They talk about on the night he lost on how they was basically conversing about the game plan and everything. So yes, Malik Scott has been in the fray as the new trainer ever since he lost February 22nd, 2020. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? So whenever he jumped back in the ring.
But back then, though, he lost because of gloves, though. He didn't lose because of the skills. He lost because of the gloves and water.
No,
we're
talking about Malik Scott being appointed as the head trainer. Yes, that was after the last fight.
Not day one. Was it day one after the fight? When did he fight? So he fired Mark Breland before we knew
what day one was for him getting back in training camp after February. But
that's what I'm saying. I agree with you. I agree with you on that. I agree.
I'm just saying they talk about it. They mentioned this about coming up with a game plan for this fight. And we all know the delays and everything that happened, but Malik Scott was promoted to the head trainer. So we cannot eliminate that. He's been in there. They've been looking at film. Malik has spoke on it to several outlets on how him and Deontay Wilder was conversing about this plan. And they on the time to look at film and everything. I want to talk about the Boxing King archives, man, on deck. He said, WCS and Mark Nash, someone told me Wilder's really a blown up cruiserweight. What's your thoughts? Can you guys please break this down for me? If you're talking about him being 205 or 209 when he was sick and still knocking motherfuckers out, I can see how they were saying he's a blown up cruiserweight. But if the man has high metabolism and his body composition is the way it is, he has the structure of a basketball player. Look at it this way. We're talking about heavyweights, cruiserweights and heavyweights. I didn't think Oleksandr Usyk was a big dude to move up the heavyweight, but he did. You know what I'm saying? He just went in there and beat Joshua, who is contended at one point in time in his career against Carlos Takam at 254 pounds. So I was one of the critics on Oleksandr Usyk moving up. We've had Bellew move up and didn't have success like Wilder. I think Wilder was blessed. God blessed him with who he is, his body competition, and the power he possesses. But also on top of that is Wilder himself is the one who split the ropes, and he has to make adjustments in the ring. He is strong enough to contend with the heavyweights. So if you're talking about a blown up cruiserweight with the way his physique is, okay. I don't agree with it. I think he's good for heavyweight. He's fought at heavyweight. So I really can't sit up here and make a comparison about he's a blown up cruiserweight just off his weight alone. because he possesses incredible power. But he's did well. He just have bad habits when it comes to boxing. Deontay Wilder has when he was getting touched up by Fury yesterday, he was just standing there. His hands was wide open. It was just a runway. It was just
got wobbly every time he got touched too, Scott.
Yeah,
the legs were gone.
To touch him up.
Yeah, he don't have a good poker face neither. I don't think when he got hit good from Fury, he didn't have a good poker face. It was times Fury he was catching Fury, and Fury had a good poker face, but then, but you know he can see it though because he's in there with him. He can see the body move. He can hear the crowd reaction, and he went after it. As soon as he got the guy hurt, it was wild again. Big misses with an uppercut. Like, I'm just saying, bro. Like, I don't. Go ahead. I just want to answer that one part though that the brother said in the chat. I don't think he's a blown up cruiserweight. He won the gold medal. He won the bronze medal as a heavyweight, or awarded, however you want to word it. If that was that easy to do, we all would have one. Like fake chains, like y'all, you know what I'm saying, or some Jordans or some Gucci. Like we all could go to the store and get it. We can't all go to the store and just get a bronze medal. So I don't subscribe to he can't box, or he's a blown up cruiserweight. This guy just got his number, bro. This guy has his number. He can't beat this guy.
A guy who's absolutely the opposite of Deontay Wilder's body composition. It's just unbelievable. But that's heavyweight, though.
And he's fast. He's faster than Wilder.
Yeah, his hands are unbelievably quick to be so flat-footed. Both of these guys are flat-footed fighters. What you think about Jay Ocho, man? He said Malik need time, man. It was his first fight in the type of environment. I totally agree with what he said. We do need to allow Malik Scott time. Yes, man. He needs time. That is the
I don't want to hear that.
He was in the head position in that ring, man. It doesn't
don't
matter.
Take the job then. Hey, look, don't take the job. You doing your brother a disservice.
No, bro. No, you know good.
I'm not. Hey, look, Scott. I got love for you.
Man.
I'm not gonna work on your Mercedes if I ain't never worked on no Mercedes.
Hey, so tell me this: in the military, you at E5, and they said we have a billet opening up for E6. It's gonna look good on your fitness evaluation. You know, your evaluation
that's different.
As a soldier.
That's different. That's totally different.
Are you gonna take the
job?
That's
totally different. Totally different.
You gonna take the
totally
job,
different,
bro?
Yeah, I would, Scott. But you know what? That's a different situation because ain't nobody getting punched in the face right here, and this ain't my brother. Now, granted, this is a situation of authority, but you know what? I got a large support system in the military as a E5 going up to E6. I got my E7, I got my master sergeant, got my I got my sergeant major, I got the lieutenants. Well, not the lieutenants because they don't really be knowing shit when they first come in. But you know what I'm saying? I got my sergeant major, I got my E7. I'm still not the platoon sergeant at the E6. Usually the E, or I might be acting until a E7 gets trained in. And this probably 9 times out of 10, and damn sure ain't gonna be in a wartime situation. This will be something they do in garrison before they send me anywhere. I get what you're saying, but this is a boxing match. This is my brother, and this is for money. This ain't for like when we fighting for freedom and justice and somebody's life can be on the line like that. Yeah, somebody can die in the ring, but I get it. But this is for money. You don't have to do that. This is some guy you call your brother. His kids know your kids. That's when you tell Don House. That's when you tell Wilder. Don House should probably do it then, because he's been there. That's
okay, how many times Don House been in the ring? How do we know?
I was gonna say get Teddy Atlas. You can get anybody. Go get Ronnie Shields. You get somebody out there.
Why not allow Malik Scott a second chance? And that was his first opportunity on the big stage. He didn't get a regular fight. Malik Scott wasn't in there with just an average fight. He wasn't in there against Daniel Dubois.
He should start there. That's why he needs to start there.
Deontay Wilder wasn't in there just fighting a mid-tier fighter or whatever. He was in there on a trilogy, a championship fight that night.
Yes, sir.
And yes, J8 make another solid point about all these people in the corner talking. Listen, that's the corner situation. You know, they should have understood how that's supposed to work out before they even stepped into that damn environment and put their chairs down in the corner. I mean, one person's supposed to be talking in the corner, really. And JD's, if he's not the head trainer, he shouldn't be talking. He shouldn't be up there asking, can he talk? I mean, because y'all pretty much should have established this in the gym already. If it was going to be Malik does the talking. And it's okay sometimes for, Don House, you know, they brought him in there as a trainer. for him to just, okay, when Malik pauses, he give his a little bit, he give his 5 seconds of instructions, boom, you only got a minute, and then it's back to work. So,
but in between rounds though, that's when you
in
tell
between
Malik.
rounds.
Yeah, no, I'm saying, yeah, everything you need to tell Malik Scott, if he need to have out a little notepad and jot it down, you need to send him a text. You tell him that right then. But once we back in the corner, one voice. You making eye contact with him right here, and you talking to that guy.
Jay was talking about when in between rounds, man. You know, all them cats was up there. You know, you have only 2 people that's going to be outside the head chief. You know, Malik Scott. And if they was all trying to provide instruction, hey man, that's a lack of organization in the corner, man.
And they could have decided on, hey, look, when we go back in there, Malik, make sure you tell him blah blah blah. You know what I'm saying? Tell Malik what to tell him, not everybody trying to shout it out. That was a hell of an observation. Who said that again? Was that J.A.? J.A. Ocho. Okay. Yeah, shout out J.A. He knows his shit, man.
702 said Wilder was out there looking like a black woman trying to get her hair wet. I mean, that has nothing to do with the topic, though. You know what I'm saying? I mean, now we're talking about something that's derogatory and demeaning and deals with demasculizing a fighter who went in there and fought his ass off, and he came up in a losing effort. That's irrelevant. 702.
He trying to be funny though, Scott. I get it. Look, he tried it. It just didn't work.
Ain't funny. Ain't no laugh.
It didn't work. I get it.
Somebody try to compare a man to a woman, man. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I had to tell that to somebody the other day. He was like, I won't trying to be funny. I said, but you just said I sound like this lady who was on your panel the other day. Yeah. Don't compare me to no woman, my nigga, because you about to get everything you wanted. You about to find out you talking to a man in real life and on this internet shit. So I get exactly what he was trying to do. Sometimes people trying to be funny, and it is what it is, but it didn't land because we're not really joking right now. It's not really a joking conversation. But I get it. But whatever. On to the next one, man. At the end of the day, what's next for Deontay Wilder in the rebuilding stage, in your opinion, sir? And I wanted chat to tell me that as well. What is next for Wilder?
It would be good if we had some type of understanding on how he's feeling as an individual. Like, you know, post-fight, him being able to talk to the audience and tell us or express to us how he's feeling after a tough loss. Again,
would have been big.
You know, huh?
I said, yeah, that would have been big for all of us to hear.
Yeah, it would have been good to kind of assess what his mindset was, what his mental compass as far as his next fight would direct us to. Like him saying, okay, I'm going to take some time off. You know, this was a tough loss for me, and take some time off, and then I look to return, you know, back to the ring and this, that. And then me, you know, you and I could have been up here saying, okay, he looking for a return to the ring. Who should he fight? Well, we don't know. We don't know who he should fight right now. We just need to make sure that when he returns back to training, he is willing to work on what is being remediated in fight camp. Because like you said earlier, we didn't see much of what was in the training videos. We didn't see him doubling up to the body. We just seen a jab to the body. I wanted to see him go to the body and dig to the body. But goddamn it, cardio shuts all that shit down. Fatigue shuts a lot of that shit down that you was training in the videos. If you're tired, you ain't gonna double up no hook to the body.
Also, you know can I add to that? Somebody made this good point on my live last night. They told me, they said, Mark, what happens in training though is when you do that and you go down, the guy holds you and y'all break up. He said, what happens in a fight is the guy, you go down like that, the guy puts you in a headlock, squeezes your neck, and punches you in your kidney. If you do that in the training while y'all sparring, you're gonna get kicked out of training camp probably. You get what I'm saying? Oh, look, nigga, you just put the heavyweight champion in the headlock and punch him in his kidney. That's what Tyson Fury gonna do. That's what they're gonna do in a similar fight. Yeah, you ain't just punching the guy behind the head in training camp. They're gonna be like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Hey, don't do that. Hey. But in the real fight, oh yeah, I'm punching you behind your head a little bit too. Yep. It's just the way it go. I'm gonna hit you a little bit in your liver, a little bit. It's gonna be some low blows, some intentional, some accident. So some things you can't train for, some things you can't simulate, and it's hard to simulate 6'9", 277. You got to go to the NFL to get one of these guys to be, and they can't box. They got the size for Tyson Fury, but they can't box and do that. So who's that? What, Dominique Brazil is a tall, big guy like that, but he don't have the weight as Fury. He don't have the movement. He definitely doesn't have the hesitation, that herky jerky style where he can feint you. And Wilder was just, I didn't think they worked on the feints and not falling for the feints and reacting to the feints so much, because Fury definitely reacted to his feints in the round 1 and round 2, and after that Fury stopped reacting to the feints. But Wilder reacted to all Fury's feints. I would be curious to talk to Malik Scott about that. He'll probably never do an interview with me because I disagree with certain things, but he seems like a solid guy where he can pull up, speak his piece, but my shit ain't always gonna be no kumbaya. You know what I'm saying? I love you, I support you, but I challenge you. I'm gonna challenge you. I challenge my wife every day. I challenge my daughter. She thinks she can eat candy all day. No, you got to eat vegetables tonight. Okay, you don't want? Okay, go to bed. You know what I'm saying? Not calling somebody, a world-class athlete a child. I'm just saying how I deal with my personal relationships. I challenge my friends, and I expect nothing but the best and from them, and I want them to challenge me too. I don't like a circle of yes men around me, right? So I want to ask Malik that, like, did y'all work on the feints? How did y'all work? Did y'all work on the left hook? Because the left hook was absent the entire fight, and even when he started landing it late at the fight, it had nothing going. It straight fatigue. It was like he has nothing on these punches anymore. What was it was a time where the doctor jumped in the ring like he was about to stop the fight. Like, I was like, damn, the doc, you forgot to go to the corner in between fights? What was you doing? You was asleep? Because now the round about to start and you jumping in. Everybody was like, what the fuck is going on? Do you know what happened with that?
I don't know, man. It's, when it comes down to them doctors and everything in the valley, you gotta look at the NSAC, man. I mean, man,
Bruh,
they had
I shared your video about that. I shared your video.
It was a lot riding on this fight. First of all, it was a lot riding on this fight, and I just felt like ultimately, this is just the way I felt, that they was hoping that Fury was able to win this fight to keep that $100 million fight, and the momentum that Fury has in stopping Deontay Wilder, it is going to carry forward to a possibly undisputed fight. And it's going to be big. It's going to be big. A lot of people are going to make a lot of money, including Fury, including whoever's Frank Warren and all them cats. They're going to make a lot of money, man. And Eddie Hearn, I know he would like to be in that. I told people that I believe that Joshua's going to get his belt back so they can still make this undisputed with Joshua and Fury. But because I still believe Joshua is a bigger name than Alexander Usyk. I don't give a damn what people are talking about. Usyk being the number one and all that. Usyk ain't the number one heavyweight. He is not better than Fury, in my opinion. I don't feel he's better than Fury. But I'm not a fan of Fury at all, period. It was something I wanted to ask about.
Why you not a fan of Fury? He did a hell of a job last night.
I mean, he's a boxing cheat too. I don't give a damn what he did last night. That's part of me.
Cheat last night?
Media.
It was a lot of stuff.
I ain't come out here cheating, but man, he's cheated in the past, dog. Man, come on, man. If we're gonna keep the same energy, if you're gonna criticize Canelo and everybody else, Oscar Valdez and everybody else who cheated, you got to keep the same energy with Tyson Fury, dog. He's a damn disgraceful fighter, period. And in boxing, you have criminals, you have individuals from all walks of life who compete in the sport. And people kind of overlook the morals and principles that boxing is absent. You know what I'm saying? This is not a sanctified sport. So therefore, you have people from all walks of life competing in the sport, which is cool. But we all know
cheat every day, B. Look, I cheated on girls before. That don't mean I'm not loyal to my wife now.
Man, you got babies everywhere from cheating, whatever, man. You're a cheater.
But I don't put the babies in the belly. I put the babies in the face. Regardless, I don't do that no more. I'm a married man, so because I got caught before. Once you get caught, you stop, you slow down, or you get smarter on ways to cheat, or you just stop the shit.
Well, you chose to slow down. That doesn't mean everybody chooses to slow down.
Fair enough. Fair enough. But
Some
I
people are
think,
rolling strong.
but look, so look, are we giving Fury a claim? Look, I had a poll up. Did Fury win fair and square? Did he cheat again? And y'all just don't know it, or did the referee help Fury get this victory? Believe it or not, 16% of people did not give him credit for a clean win.
I mean,
I
do
had
we
6% say he still cheated.
truly know? Is it any way possible for us to truly know the 16% on why they refuse to give Fury credit for the win?
No, but I did put the option. But I was seeing it in the chat. That's why I put the next. That's why I put it on the poll, because people are already saying Fury cheated. We just don't know how. Yeah, wait, give it a week or two. We'll find out instantly.
Yeah, just like the
People
rematch. We had to analyze the video frames and all this other stuff. But from what I was looking at, and of course I want to watch the fight over and over again. From what I've seen with him knocking out Deontay Wilder, people are going to go back to the count. We had that shit with Buster Douglas. We had that shit with Tyson Fury. We've had that with several other fighters with the long count. It happens. It happens for real. And there's no way around it, because the referee would give you some bullshit like Jack Reese and say he did it for the spirit of the sport.
Right. When you caught red-handed, is you can still get by with that. That should be thrown out. The referee cannot do stuff for the quote unquote spirit of the sport, because I don't remember that being in your referee handbook. Now that's something like in amateurs, I get it. When you're doing amateur shit, an amateur ref can tell the guys, you can low-key give them instruction. You can say, hey, make sure you keep your hands up. You know what I'm saying? When you're doing amateur referee, but not professional referee, you don't give instructions. You don't help the guy up. You damn sure don't guide him to his corner after he don't got dropped twice. Remember the referee, or one of the rounds where Wilder really got into him right there in the end. Referee kind of guided him to his corner.
And I got a tough question for you, Mark. You asked me about Deontay Wilder retiring, and I always mention this when it comes to people saying, "Oh, he lost the first time, he should retire," and all that. Why do you? What's your thought process on Deontay losing to the same person twice? And different, it being different from Anthony Joshua losing to two different people and taking the amount of punishment he took. Why nobody's not screaming retirement for Anthony Joshua, but yet Deontay Wilder loses to just one specific fighter, the top heavyweight, one of the top heavyweights in the sport, and people say, okay, should he retire? And then Anthony Joshua quits and then turn around and get beat by a damn near cruiserweight, and nobody really even talks about retirement with Joshua.
Loaded question. I like how you set the table. But hey, look, I used to be a fat boy, man, so I'm ready. I can sit at the table. I can eat this up. Pause. Look, simple as this. They see more tools in Joshua's toolbox, so they give him credit. They see Wilder. They see quote unquote a one-trick pony. Their words, not mine, but that's what they see. So that's why I think they give him more of a shot. And that's the simplest way I can put it. I can compound that and give you a little more on that. But what do you think of that answer, or do you want me to elaborate further?
So with Joshua has been known to have a poor chin. His neurological system does not function well when he's touched on the damn chin strap, right? But Deontay Wilder, up to this point, he was basically proving he has a pretty durable chin. Joshua's been on the canvas more times than Deontay Wilder, but yet people don't scream retirement. Joshua was on the canvas against Klitschko, a person that he called out of retirement to come in there and fight for a vacant title. That's why I'm asking, because up to this point, Deontay Wilder was on the canvas against the same person, Tyson Fury. So what is the drawn conclusion on why people don't really talk about Anthony Joshua? Should he retire, being that he has a suspect chin? And then you take Deontay Wilder, who has only had 2 losses to the same heavyweight, arguably the best heavyweight in the division right now. That's all I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Anthony Joshua's been all over the canvas, man.
But brother, like I said, they see the toolbox. They think he has more tools in the arsenal. That's why they give
What
him
does
more of
the
a chance.
toolbox have to do with a chin, though?
Because I don't look, guys. Look, I think some people might give him a pass on the chin because he's a heavyweight. One shot can change it all. When you're dealing with heavyweights, you're dealing with these guys 230, 240, 225 pounds, and they land flush on you, even if you just dropped them. I don't subscribe to the fact Joshua don't got no chin, bro, because he wouldn't have made it this far. No, he got hit by some good shots. Who he get dropped by? He got dropped by who he get dropped by? Klitschko, Ruiz, who else? I'm lost. Who else he got? Like he's not in there going Amir Khan getting clipped like that all the time and just out. The guy shows heart, shows heart a lot. I like Joshua, man. Definitely disappointed me in that Ruiz matchup because what I saw was him basically quitting in the corner.
Yeah, but he was.
Now some people don't like to say that. I was like, look, he was trying. I get it. Y'all don't think he quit because I know what he was trying to do. He was trying to get a little breather right there. He had his arms on the rope, trying to get himself together. He was trying to buy some time. The referee wouldn't let him do it.
Having poor cardio though, so you just don't take it upon yourself. Like in the Joseph Parker fight, he ripped the tape off his gloves and just walked to his corner to get a time. You just don't take your own time out and all that other bullshit.
I agree. But I look at that as he still has wherewithal. He still understands. He knows what he's doing. I seen guys do shit like that and come back and win, bro. Stop the guy. A la Corrales, may he rest in peace. He did that with Castillo. He was buying time. He spit out the mouthpiece. He got dropped, spit out the mouthpiece. They did a count, and he gave him a warning about the point. Then he spit out the mouthpiece again, got dropped. He took a point away. Referee goes over there, takes it to his corner. His corner said, Goosen was like, man, you got to get in his ass, and then you got to go fuck him up or something. He said like that. And Corrales goes out there, get hits with another good shot, and he ends up stopping Castillo. People were mad. They called that an early stoppage, like you didn't give him a chance. And Tony Weeks always explained it as this. He said, I wasn't pulling for no fighter. He said he had presence of mind because he kept spitting out that mouthpiece. That means I understand he knows what's going on. And I see he's still where the other guys, the ropes are holding him up and his eyes have rolled back behind his head. I can't let him keep getting hit. He should have took a knee or you to get what I'm saying? To give
I
himself
think that's a referee's discretion. And everyone has their own scriptures. Just like Jack Reese said, the only reason that he gave Tyson Fury the benefit of the doubt was because one of his legs was up and the sole was on the ground. So he was capable of holding his leg up. So that means he had life in his body.
Oh, I never heard that. Now that's different. Go ahead, Jack Reese.
He told me that, man. I was like, wow, dog. Like, damn. I see. Look, looking at the way Wilder was laying on the ground, he wasn't on his back, he was on his side. But yet, Jack Reese said Tyson was on his back and he had one of his legs up. So that allowed him to assess that Tyson Fury still had mechanical functionality. And that allowed Jack Reese to make the decision to say, hey, he still has life in his body. Let me give him this long count for the spirit of the sport.
Yeah, I did a side-by-side comparison showing Jack Reese how he counted for Ndongo when Bud dropped him and how he counted for Tyson Fury. Mm-hmm. Definitely not the same. Definitely not the same. Jack Reese counts like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, over. That's how he does his 10 count. This 10 count was 1, 2, 3, 4. See that delay? Like it started. Yeah, man. He was doing shit. Man, I can't explain it, bro. I know I'm not blind. I know I see what I see. And I see Malik Scott not being the best fit for Deontay Wilder. I saw a long count for Fury. Like this, look, I give Fury credit for his win. People got mad at me because I put the picture up of Deontay Wilder being knocked out. I was like, bro, that's what happened.
Man,
I said I didn't. Now I said them. It was like, Mark, you being disrespectful. I said, no, me being disrespectful will be me taking the time out of my day to make a meme and put the brother on a pillowcase and start putting the memes up.
Correct.
And that's disrespectful. Me showing a screenshot of what happened in real time to people who hadn't seen the fight. I'm just telling y'all I'm showing y'all the picture of what happened. I'm not about to make no memes out of the guy. I don't even be making memes of people getting knocked out. I make memes of when I made memes of Tyson Fury's suit. I might have made a no, I ain't even make no meme for Conor McGregor when he broke his leg. I just kept showing the clip on repeat when he stepped back. You know what I'm saying? But no, I didn't do that, man. Look, I respect these guys. I respect these fighters. But I gotta tell you the truth. That was a long count. I didn't like Wilder's cardio. I didn't like what I saw with his trainer Malik Scott. I didn't like Sugar Hill taking his shirt off in the post press fight conference. Why you got your shirt off? These dudes look like they was about to do a meal review for the senior citizen home. Like, why y'all sitting up there with y'all flabby bodies with y'all shirts off? Don't like it. Looks real suspect. But that's neither here nor there. I'm just having fun with Sugar Hill and Tyson Fury. Hell of a win for their camp. This is a big, big win for the Crunk Gym. Like, you guys keep saying this is a win for the UK. No, this is big for America too. Because Sugar Hill is making Emmanuel Stewart's name and legacy lived on. Say what you want to about him working with Tyson Fury. Man, Sugar Hill, when you to work, you know what I'm saying? When you come from that Crunk Gym, yo, in boxing, people consider that one of the best, bro. You know what I'm saying? As far as the namesake. It's a legacy. It's nothing wrong with keeping your uncle's legacy going on. I think he said he lived with his uncle for about 25, 35 years. And they had a father and son relationship. So I'm proud of him because he's keeping Emmanuel Stewart's name out there. Even though I didn't like some of the things Emmanuel Stewart used to say sometimes. I was like, oh man, he hating on Floyd right now. Just to fit in with Larry and Harold.
But also he predicted Fury and Wilder would be top heavyweights at one point in time. They would be champions.
Yeah, did he pick the winner back then too?
No, he said both of them individually would be top in the sport. You know what I'm saying? You know, he predicted that.
I saw them playing something of him before the fight. So, and people was, I missed it because I was hosting, but that's what that clip was that they were showing of him, right?
Yeah, I mean, that clip has been out there forever and a day. Yeah. Let me get to the chat right quick.
Yes, sir.
Hoover said Wilder versus AJ, Wilder versus White, versus Sanchez versus Ruiz. All those are very good names, and those guys are still considered to be decent, you know, top contenders, so to speak, besides Sanchez. Sanchez just beat a Jogba. You know what I'm saying? A Jogba wasn't anything special. He had some hype behind him and some momentum, but Sanchez did what Sanchez is supposed to do, bro. You know, now Andy Ruiz, White, and AJ, of course, these are very popular names in the heavyweight division. And yeah, we would like to see Wilder in there with those three. Of course. Especially Dillian White, especially AJ, and then lastly Ruiz, of course. But Sanchez, Sanchez still has some a little bit of that ladder to climb before he get up there and touch Wilder. I don't know. I don't see where Wilder benefits from going in there fighting Sanchez. But fighting AJ, Dillian White, who's up there as the mandatory for Fury, if he gets past Otto Wallin, Ruiz, you know, former unified champion, sure. You know, sure, man. You know, he can box. Messenger 215, that's irrelevant to the topic. You know, we already talked about the glove situation. Sugar Hill was on his J.R. Smith shit. Yeah, man. He basically mentioned, you know, Wilder and Fury back in the day. But when it all comes down to it, man, I definitely want to mention the Berlanga. Definitely want to keep the same energy. Edgar Berlanga, it's tough being a popular boxer in this sport because the fan base it can be, you know, the fan base can be disloyal a lot of the times. You know, when you're shining, man, everybody want to be close to you so they can feel the radiation. They can be in the glow and everything else. And then when you have a bad fight, they abandon your ass. And I'm not saying that's what's going to happen with Edgar Berlanga right now, but I'm just saying he goes from a guy who has, you know, this ability to sleep fighters in the first round, I remember, I think it was J.A. that said this. He said he fought 18 nobodies. And I can't sit up here and deny the fact that boxers build a record up. And you may have boxers out here that's fighting soft touches and building up their resume. Like I say, everybody cannot go up here and do what Teofimo Lopez was able to do in 16 fights. Or even Vasily Lomachenko, being he was a 2-time gold medal and was fighting boys. He decided to come over here when he was more than ready to turn professional and get a title shot in his second professional fight. But what I'm trying to say is, in boxing, there is a format for a lot of fighters, and that is to fight individuals who may not be on their level of competition. We see fighters coming off the couch all the time, jumping in the ring and fighting fighters who's trying to build up their record. If they have a professional boxing license and they pass the medicals, yeah, you'll see this fighter debut 1-0, 3-0, 3-2. You know, you see these fighters, you don't know who they are, but their record look decent or not. And these fighters fight them and knock them out and keep it moving. You know, so that's what we look at a lot of times. You know, people are going to say Edgar Berlanga fought 18 nobodies, and he was dropped yesterday in the 9th round. That goes along with the sport of boxing. He's still undefeated right now. Berlanga's just going to have to take the time out and improve his craft, work on his defense, because he does have power. He just needs to know how to delegate that and execute that power effectively in different ways. You just can't go out there and, just put all this power into your jab all the time. You know, learn how to change speed on your jab. You know what I'm saying? And double up on it so you can increase the volume. You're just putting a lot of emphasis on power every time you put out your jab. Learn how to pop that shit like a slingshot, man, like a rubber band, but still have that little sting on it. Work on your footwork, dog. Footwork is important at Edgar Berlanga. You know, you're a flat-footed fighter, man. You don't have to be. Learn how to move around like Frank Sanchez. You know what I'm saying? Learn how to move and dance. And if you jump roping, that goes to show that you can move around on the balls of your feet. Learn that shit, bro. Learn how to move around the balls of your feet, man. Damn. What y'all think about the J.R. Smith situation? You know what I'm saying? What y'all think about J.R. Smith? I said J.R. Smith. Julian Williams, man. What do y'all think about Julian Williams? I'm just reading on Boxing Scene, right? That Malik Scott reveals Wilder broke his hand. Say Fury was greater than Deontay. He said trainer Malik Scott has revealed that Deontay Wilder suffered an injury to his hand during the trilogy loss. We saw the doctors afterwards. Everything was cool. He got a busted lip. He broke his hand, broke his finger or knuckle, but life goes on. Wilder won just one round on 3 of the judges' score from the 6th round on and was not effectively using his equalizing right hand. A development also discussed during the live telecast broadcast by Hall of Famer heavyweight champion Lennox Lewis. After scoring a pair of 4th round knockdowns, Wilder was mostly fatigued as Fury bounced back and outworked him. Scott heaped high praise toward the WBC's champion Fury, 31-0-1, 22 knockouts following the British boxer's brutal beating of his pupil Wilder. I've always said Fury not good. He's very good and damn near great. After tonight, I'm going to consider him a great fighter, much respect. Wilder was great. Fury was greater. The best man won. We almost beat him. This was a hell of an experience. I want Deontay to get some good rest after this. I'm going to make sure he gets it. Fury, I'm assuming, will get the Usyk shot now, which would be good, says Scott. With Deontay, I believe his style, he'll do a whole lot better against Usyk than AJ's style did, 10 times better. Tyson Fury and Usyk is a very good fight. I can say this, if Tyson Fury is fighting Deontay Wilder and Deontay is 238 and the hardest puncher in history of sport, and he's willing to come and lean on Deontay to wear him down, what do you think he's going to do to Usyk? Fury is going to go right to him, Usyk, and want to lean on him and maul him. Make a solid point. Oh, man, it is what it is, man. Hoover says we won't see Berlanga against a top guy for at least 3 years. You might be right, man. He needs to work on some things. I just don't see how these fighters believe in. What are they doing in the gym, man? Like, besides going in there sparring, what are you just doing? Like, now it brings us to this this big question mark too. You know, we're seeing all these power hitters taking losses, right? The jury is still out on whether Kambosos can go in there and give Teofimo Lopez a good run for his money. You know what I'm saying? What about the Rolly Romero Gervonta Davis fight? It kind of brings us to a guy again like Rolly Romero who started boxing late. He puts all his emphasis into power shots every time he throws a shot. To somebody who has power like Gervonta Davis and properly knows how the process works. Gervonta Davis knows how to apply his power. He knows how to moderate his boxing technique and keep the power when he chooses to deem it necessary to sit down on his punches. But the great thing about Gervonta Davis is he can move around. He has excellent foot movement for his power shots, man. He's not a flat-footed fighter. He has excellent movement, which is going to give Rolly Romero an extreme amount of problems. But if Gervonta Davis can possess this amount of power and still have good foot movement, why isn't every other fighter able to make those adjustments in training camp and work on their technical skill set? If you are blessed with power, why is Edgar Berlanga so flat-footed? How are you going to, in your weight class, how are you going to continue to fight like that without moving your head and using some defensive prowess and remain flat-footed just because you have power, man? I mean, you got to use foot movement. It don't matter what weight. We seen Frank Sanchez go in there and he's fighting heavyweight and he was moving all over the ring. He was able to drop a Jogba. That's not the first time Jogba was dropped, but I'm just saying his footwork. Luis Ortiz has some very good footwork for a heavyweight. But we'll see, man. Hoover makes a solid prediction. He said we won't see Berlanga against a top guy for at least 3 years. But look what division Edgar Berlanga is in, though. Look what division he's fighting in, for real. Oh, man. Damn. And let's not forget Robert Helenius. Robert Helenius was a sparring partner of Deontay Wilder for a portion of this training camp. He put together some incredible combinations in his stoppage against Andy Kanaki. And I know it's a DQ, right? But he was fucking Kanaki up so much that Andy started deliberately fouling Robert Helenius and hitting him below the belt. Damn near what Galata was doing to Bo. He didn't want to get stopped again. Andy Kanaki didn't want to get stopped. So he said, you know what? I'm going to get DQ'd before I get stopped. That's what happened. But Robert Helenius was, man, he was battering Kanaki. It wouldn't have been, look, it would have been all bad for Kanaki to anyway, because his eye was swollen up in the first fucking round leading into the second. I mean, it was going to be a long fucking night. He was squinting the eye. He was blinking over and over again. He just didn't have an answer for the taller, stronger, rangier Helenius. And let's not forget that Helenius is a prominent player in this heavyweight division right now. I'm serious. It's only a matter of time before he get a big name. Let's see how far Helenius is able to go. The man is, he can box. He can box, man. What's next for Efe Ajagba? Good question, dog. Good question, bro. But you know what? I look forward to all the live streams. This is just going to be talking about the Deontay Wilder situation and Tyson Fury trilogy. It is now over. It was a very good fight. It gave us all the energy we can ask for in a heavyweight fight. Real talk. Now, of course, you know, a lot of fans who was rooting for Deontay Wilder, their fighter didn't come out on top. That goes for me too. It's boxing. It comes with the territory a lot. 1 minute you're on top of the world, and the next minute you're trying to get back to that damn pinnacle. And it's not as easy as it was the first time you did it. You know what I'm saying? It's not as easy. It's tougher to get back to the damn championship pinnacle, that crest. And I don't know what's next for Deontay Wilder. He definitely needs to get some rest, but we don't know what's next for him, and we'll try to see all this play out in the upcoming months. We'll see him get back in the gym and see what his mindset is and what his language is about. You know, what he's talking about. We have to see how he's vibing. I'm pretty sure he's going to come out and talk about it sooner or later. But yeah, he was knocked out, man, and we just have to give him time. For Tyson Fury, I'm pretty sure he was partying like a rock star. It's gonna. I mean, if you thought U.S. fans were supporting Tyson Fury before, you definitely know they're supporting him now. Shit, Tyson Fury is gonna be unstoppable. Tyson Fury is what I wanted to see happen with Deontay Wilder. I wanted to see him have an epic win like this and have the masses support him, you know, in his victory and his accomplishments in the sport. But not like Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury is about to get the royalty treatment. You cannot say anything. You can't tell Tyson Fury shit right now. The man is on a whole nother level. He's undefeated still, and he's coming off one of the best wins of his career. For real, he's coming off one of the best wins of his career. And I don't see Joshua beating him. I don't see Alexander Usyk beating him. I don't see Dillian White beating him. Otto Wallin, none of them. I don't see them beating him. J8 said Helenius looked like he was sparring, easy work. It was easy, man. And I was telling somebody I was on the phone with, I said, man, Kanaki has those eyes, those baby eyes that swell up just as shedding a tear. He gets all puffy. I mean, before the first round was over with, man, his left eye was already damn puffy. I don't know what Andy's gonna do, man. He might have a short career, dog. He said Kanaki got the worst defense I ever seen. You think it's the worst? I got some names out there. Shit. Shit. He up there in the top two, ain't he? Top three? Shit. Let's see. He said people here be like, yeah, Fury won, but he got help and low key cheating. What you mean, people here? I don't know what people here mean. People like, what are you saying exactly? You never once heard me say low key cheating, so you can't not be referring to me. I haven't said anything of a sort. Sir Senior on deck, how you feeling, bro? Salute at WCS. Salute to you, man. They don't rock with Fury like that. Just hate Wilder. Exactly. That's what it was all about. A lot of people who was speaking bad about Wilder. You know what I'm saying? They wanted to pretend like they was supporting Fury. You know what I'm saying? But they really wasn't. They just wanted to be everything opposite of what Wilder stood for in boxing. But we cannot sit up here and ignore the fact that it was a damn good fight last night. It was a damn good fight, bro. Whether it was a long count, this, that, and the other, man, these referees know when to speed up a count and slow down a count. Man, come on, man. And just like they don't hold the judges accountable like they should, same thing can go for the referees. They really don't hold these referees extreme, like they don't hold them a strict accountability to these referees when they have inconsistencies with their counts. It's almost transparent. Well, we'll go back and a referee can just minutely slow down a count enough to the point where it can be considered a long count. But yet, if they was to punish that referee for it, it'll be considered petty. It'll be considered petty for them to punish a referee for having a slightly slower count than usual. That's facts, people. They don't rock with Fury. Yeah, I read that. But man, I want to appreciate everyone for pulling up, man, today and dropping your input as always, Shouty. Man, it's a lot that went on yesterday. Serious, man. It's a lot that went on, man. It's a lot to process. I want to take time and go back and look at some of these fights. I really like the Frank Sanchez and Efe Jagba fight. Man, I told people Jagba was just like Anthony Joshua. He's just like a robot, dog. That fight was pretty damn entertaining, though. You know, it was pretty entertaining. Real talk. But D Hodges, OG on deck. What's good with you, D Hodges? But man, it's been a pleasure, man. Y'all turn up and tune in to World Combat Sports, man. I'm out. Until next time.